Well, it certainly will be a very, very intense encounter, I think. Bernie, Melbourne, I know they're pretty keen on their chances, but Essendon would want to win this mainly for Terry Danaher, I would think.
Yes, well, Terry hasn't played, of course, since that last home and away round 24, when he hurt his shoulder. It was a sad day for Terry because he went off very early in the game. There he is on screen at the moment. We have a look at the Essendon side. A lot of experience in this Essendon side. Hamilton at centre-half back, Terry Danaher at centre-half forward. We've got Michael Werner, who's played a lot of senior games. In fact, there's very few players there that haven't played a senior game. Only 2 players, in fact, out of that whole Essendon 23 that have not been involved in the senior game.
And have a look at the Melbourne side, and well, they've got some experience as well there. And as I said, I spoke to a couple of the Melbourne guys yesterday, and they're very keen on their chances. I know that they're a very determined bunch, the Melbourne boys. They're very good tackling side, so if Essendon win this game, they'll do it with their class if they can break into the open. And just having a look there, I think Simon Eishold in the middle there, giving the boys a little bit of a talking to. Certainly an experienced player.
Yes, they're not as experienced as the Essendon side, but they have performed pretty well throughout the finals. They came from behind last week to defeat a very strong Carlton side. And Essendon did defeat them earlier in the final series. They came from behind in that game to overrun Melbourne in the end. But there's Terry Danaher playing probably what will be his last game in the Essendon colours. Of course, he's been keenly sought after as a playing coach in the VFA. He's been a magnificent player, played some 313 games with the Essendon side. The best and fairest player, played in a couple of grand finals. And I think they'd be very keen to go out on a good note for Terry Danaher.
And Essendon Bernie have won the toss, and they'll be kicking to the left of screen, which, if there's any end favoured by what breeze we would find today, that would be it. Of course, it does swirl around this Coliseum-like stadium, so goals can be kicked, as we saw in the previous match, at both ends.
Well, I'm not surprised. The curator has done an absolutely magnificent job on this ground.
You couldn't speak more highly of them, could you, Robbo? Because yesterday, when the Eagles trained here, there were puddles of water. It didn't stop raining until 11:30 or thereabouts. And for the ground to come up like this, it's been mown and also rolled. And to be able to get that equipment on it with the use of the super soppers, of course, it's a tremendous effort by the ground staff.
Yeah, it's fantastic, Pete. It's just they're the best thing that's ever been invented, those super soppers. It's amazing the condition of the ground. Of course, it was covered from the centre. All the centre was covered into the centre-half forward positions. But the rest of the ground, last week also, it was amazing how they got the ground up for the game between Footscray and Geelong, and they've done exactly the same thing this week. It may be even better this week. It's quite amazing.
Dr. Lil said it was better than last week, and looking at the ground, I wouldn't argue with him. All right, let's get a selection from you guys. Bernie?
Well, I'm tipping Essendon. I think with their experience, just may tell the tale in the end. Peter?
And Robbo?
Well, I'll go with the emotion that I heard or felt yesterday with the Demons, and I'm going to tip Melbourne to win.
Well, Essendon has the score on the board, and only 3 defeats for the year. I'd have to go with the Bombers. But grand finals are funny things. Alessio, a big boy, an obvious successor to the tall timber at Essendon. Kick out of the centre, comes down towards the left forward pocket. That was from Dyson. Bauer, oh gee, that nearly went out of bounds on the full. Was able to pick it up just inside, right on the boundary line. Marking contest, Dick paddles the ball further forward for Essendon. Izard, a quick kick, certainly plenty of finals experience there. Matthew Phoebe tried to pick the ball up, couldn't do so, and we'll see a bounce just outside the centre square. And I say bounce because the umpires have been bouncing the ball. They haven't been throwing it in the air in too many places on the ground. Spongy in a couple of spots, but as you can see there, the ball bouncing pretty high. Doyle taps it out. Ball finally comes out the back. The umpire says that's a free kick, and trying to break clear with it was Matthew Phoebe again.
Yes, a free kick going there against Hurd. He held onto it for a long time when he was tackled, Peter.
The kick taken by Dyson. Marking contest on centre wing. Shark by Grenvold. Didn't take the ball cleanly. Ball nearly goes out of bounds. Picked up by Eishold. The centering kick from him. Plenty of experience, as we've seen in both sides, especially Essendon. This is White breaking clear. Could be a chance for a goal. 25 metres out. Steams in. And he's put it through for only 1 behind. So the opening score, a point to Melbourne.
Well, a disappointing miss there, Robbo.
Bad miss,
Sean
wasn't
White.
it, Bernie?
Yes,
I mean, right in front.
A very experienced player too, Sean White, one of the experienced players we're talking about. Not in the Essendon side, of course. He played in about the last 8 home and away games in the senior side for the Melbourne.
So the kick in, straight up the ground. Nice kick too, in towards centre half back. Some desperate stuff shown by Considine. He gets the ball to Philandia, but the free kick has been picked out of it, and it's going back to Considine. He hand passes the ball away to Mercedes. Mercedes kicked to half forward. A little bit of a misunderstanding there by the Demons defenders. It goes to the rear where Grinter gathers and clears quite nicely too. The kick over the top of the players' heads and gives them a chance to run at the football, and eventually it's hurried over the boundary line in front of number 47 for Melbourne there. That's Paul Hopgood, a young boy from Chelsea, only 18 years of age. So the Demons will be looking for some improvement from players like that over the summer if they're to get further up the ladder in season 1993. Desperate stuff again by Beveridge. Phoebe. In goes Hopgood again. The tackle on Philandia was okay, according to the umpire. And the umpires for today's grand final in the reserves are Andrew Coates and Brett Allen.
Andrew Coates, of course, famous name at umpiring. His father was a whistleblower for many years.
Bernie, the struggle that the umpires are having bouncing it, wouldn't you think it'd be a good idea, maybe until they get used to it, that they could throw it in the air?
It'll probably improve as the day goes on the surface, but
this is possibly the wettest part here, Bernie, isn't it?
Exactly, Pete. We saw actually the rover Sean Denham take the bounce.
So chance for the Bombers now. Bauer takes the flick out, which was knocked on by Masiti towards the edge of the square. They get a marking contest. The ball goes straight up in the air again. Alessio with the big fist. Back it comes to Denham, who takes a hand pass, kicks inside 50. Danaher caught out of position, and it'll be a mark or free kick to the Demons down there to be taken for them by Andrew Lamprell from Hobart. He was number 10 in the 1991 national draft. Out towards the half-back line. Hayden Kilmartin, this is, from Hobart. And a chance for the Demons to swing into attack again. Umpire has paid the mark, has he?
Yeah, good effort by Eishold, having to back.
What's going the other
paid
player?
A free kick, has he?
Must have been a free kick.
Williams.
So, kick up by Williams. It's Grant Williams. White made good position, couldn't take the mark. Ball slapped out in front of the pack. Beveridge gets away a quick hand pass. Came back to Eishold. And a chance for the Demons again. Snapshot for goal down there by Taylor. After the hand pass came from Phoebe, and that's a goal. Kick by David Neitz.
Very little pressure there in the end.
David Neitz captained the Victorian schoolboys last year and comes from Parkmore. Here it is in replay.
So you might be right, Robbo, with a little bit of emotion that Melbourne was talking about, getting away to a very good start early in the game. In the end, that was a very simple mark for a forward to take that mark on the goal square. No pressure coming from the Essendon defenders and just popping it through.
So a good bounce back in the centre and the ruckman contest. Melbourne get the advantage. It's Cowell with the football. His short kick towards centre half forward sets it up for the defenders to punch it away quite easily. Philandia, well done, breaks clear and kicks it very directly towards goal. It's punched away. Now a chance for Melbourne. Desperate stuff being shown again by Hopgood. Handball away to Dyson. Dyson's high kick wide to the wing. Nearly a Melbourne mark to Cowell. Bauer is the Essendon player. Denham there to give him a bit of a hand. Bauer, kick off the ground there. Comes back towards Masiti. Masiti able to get onto his favoured right side, but his kick falls short and the mark is taken by Dyson. Dyson has already had 3 kicks. This is his 4th kick. And it's into the centre. The mark is taken there by Hopgood. He plays on quickly. Up towards full forward. Good lead, good pass, and good football by the Demons. Cuthbertson has it about 45 metres from goal, fairly well straight in front.
Yes, well, this player kicked 7 goals against Essendon 2 weeks ago. He looked like he was going to set the world on fire 2 years ago playing for the Melbourne Seniors. He's taken some time to really develop, but has ability on his day to kick a lot of goals.
What a good kick. An excellent kick by Darren Cuthbertson, and he kicks Melbourne's 2nd goal. The Demons lead 13 points, Essendon yet to score.
Yes, and the other player who's been very lively early, the player on screen now, Hopgood. He takes that mark there, Paul Hopgood, and have a look at that pass. It's just what the forwards would be licking his lips, seeing that pass coming at him. And Darren Cuthbertson, as I said, he kicked a bag full against Essendon on the last occasion these two teams met.
Darren Cuthbertson getting the 2nd goal of the match, the 2nd for Melbourne after the pass coming from Paul Hopgood. Ball out towards Ridley, hacks it off the ground up towards the half-forward flank, right half-forward for Essendon. Races on out there. Danaher, in probably his last match for Essendon, picked up by Lamprell, and he's put it out of bounds, and that is on the full, so the free kick will go Melbourne's way to be taken at right centre wing, or Essendon's way, I should say, at right centre wing.
Terry Danaher lining up at full forward, playing on Andrew Lamprell.
Todd Ridley from Claremont in Western Australia. In fact, the ball cleared the pack. Here's a chance for Grinter to clear it, which he does. Grinter, the Melbourne captain. And the Demons should go forward again. Phoebe there. Ball comes back and kicked out of defence up towards centre wing, and the mark taken by Cow. Darren Cow from Claremont, third in the '91 national draft. He's had a couple of senior games this year. That kick, not a good one, out of bounds. And that will be thrown in close to the centre wing position.
Just interesting, Peter, looking through the Melbourne side, there's a lot of teenagers in there. A lot of teenagers.
Yeah, certainly a much younger group, aren't they, Robbo, than the Essendon team today. Hopgood again gets the hand pass away, taken by Eishold. Marking contest in front of goal. Hamilton, speaking of experienced players, he's been around Windy Hill for a while. That's a good defender's kick. He's kicked it out of bounds about 65 metres from goal.
Of course, both of these sides play this ground as their home ground now throughout the
Yes,
home and home games.
The clubs that share it, the others, other being Richmond, of course. Denham bumped off it. Chance for the Demons again. Eishold. Oh, gee, that was almost on the shoulder. Umpire says play on. A bolo punch to get the ball away from the pack. And spills free again. And the Bombers are going to run this out. This is Willie Dick. Goes for the hand pass. Taken there by Mercury. And the Bombers are away. Izard. And back to Dick again, and Dick kicks up towards full forward.
Well, if they get a goal out of this, they can thank some very determined play by young Mercury there across the half-back line. He was confronted by a player coming down the centre of the ground and turned his way out of trouble quite nicely, Bernie, in the finish, didn't he?
He dodged and weaved and got out of it well, set up the hand pass. That was the best passage of play displayed by the Essendon side up until this stage.
And the enigmatic Michael Werner.
5 goals last up.
Has stacks of ability.
He does get thrown around quite often though, Robbo. I don't know, they play him at both ends of the ground, but he's a terrific goal kicker on his day.
It's a lovely long kick, but it just floats across the face and goes through for one behind. So the Bombers, their first score through Michael Werner. We're about halfway through the first term. Melbourne have kicked 2 goals. So the Demons on top at this stage in the first term. The kick in is very good out towards Eishold. Doyle was there, now Terry Danaher can't break away, but he gets his kick in. It's going very close. No, just to the right-hand side and through for another behind to Essendon. So the Bombers settling down a little bit now after Melbourne got off to a very, very good start. And there's Terry Danaher in the picture. What a fantastic player he's been for Essendon and for Australian rules football over a long period of time.
Yes, Terry playing in 21 finals, 4 grand finals. He's done just about everything. Good tackle. Umpire says nothing for it. Dick can't get clear. Booted away by Dyson again, who originally came to Melbourne from Oakley a couple of seasons back now. He's been in and out of the ones. Grenvold flicks out the hand pass in the direction of Bauer. Cowell in pursuit. Good tackle. Ball spills free. Excellent stuff. Coaches applaud that. Cuthbertson trying to get into the open space. Can't do so. There has been a free kick found.
Very ordinary play there by Bauer. He just relaxed far too much coming out of the back line. He must have thought he had a week to get rid of that ball.
Darren Cow.
Terrific tackle by Cow.
Kicks long. Again, no mark taken out in front of goal. Melbourne with all the opportunities. A chance for Masiti again. Masiti's kick back in the direction of that same player, Darren Cow, from Claremont. This is Izard. He's also played in 4 grand finals. And for Essendon now, James Hurd kicks up inside 50. And, gee, speaking of 50, that could almost be 50 to Werner. No.
James Hurd in probably the last or second last round of matches took about 16 marks on this ground.
That was against North Melbourne, Robbo. I was here, watched that game. He was magnificent.
Unbelievable, wasn't it?
A very good pair of hands.
The ball seemed to just follow him.
Yes, yes. He's, of course, the grandson of Alan Hurd, former Essendon president.
Only 19 years of age from Ainsley. But this is Michael Werner, of course, having a shot for goal.
Werner right on 50. He's already kicked it behind. I think he's kicked 2 behinds, judging by the goal umpire's reaction. So Essendon having opportunities in the last couple of minutes, but not converting. 2 behinds to Werner, 3 to the Bombers, and they trail by 10 points.
So Rodney Grinter preparing to kick the ball back into play for the Demons. A Wanganui punt kick by Grinter. Picked off by Hopgood. Hopgood has done very well. That's his 5th possession. His kick goes wide. Bauer can't control it. Given a hand by Considine. Bauer dispossessed by Cowell. Still Bauer underneath that pack of players. Number 38 for Melbourne is David Neitz. He kicked Melbourne's first goal, which we saw was a little bit too easy, I would think, for Dennis Pagan and his men in the coaching box. Here's Beveridge for Melbourne. He's kicking towards half forward and slipping at a critical stage. Chance there for Taylor. No, a free kick has been picked out and it's going to go to Grenvold. Grenvold is at centre half back for Essendon. His long kick out towards the wing. Oh, Ridley was up high again. Kilmartin. Ridley goes after the football once again. Hurd in there. Gee, there's some desperate stuff being shown by both sides. Opportunity for Eishold. Gets around onto the left foot. His high kick, nicely weighted, and the marker's taken out there by Grinter. Grinter, would you think he'd be playing maybe his last game, or could Melbourne afford to keep him back in the side, Bernie?
Well, Rod Grinter, having a look at his age, he's only 27 years of age. If really he wanted to go on and was prepared to put the hard work in, I think he could still be a valuable player.
Well, it rebounded very quickly from Grinter's mark, and it's finished up with Terry Danaher.
Good effort by Plain, wasn't it?
Bradley Plain was the player who dropped the little pass into Terry Danaher.
Yeah, they have some very dangerous goal kickers on the forward line. Terry Danaher, Werner, a 2-pronged attack at full forward. And Bradley Plain, of course, has kicked plenty of goals playing at senior level.
Terry Danaher from about 30 metres out on a tight angle. And his shot for goal has missed. So Essendon, in the last 5 minutes, have had all the chances, but they've only kicked 4 behinds. Melbourne 2-1, they lead by 9 points.
So Werner's kicked 2 behinds, and so too has Terry Danaher. Early in the first quarter, the captain of the VSFL Melbourne side, Rod Grinter. Grinter favours the Great Southern Stand side of the ground. One-on-one duel out there. No mark taken. Chance for Lamprell. Paddles the ball further forward, very close to the boundary line. In fact, it beats his teammate out there in Kevin Dyson, and it will be thrown back into play. 12 3/4 minutes left in the first quarter. Alessio and Doyle, one of the key duels of the game. Player dragged off it, should get a free kick. Hurd trying to break away, can't do so. Free kick is taken by Denham. Sean Denham, formerly of Geelong, kicks inside 50, but the Melbourne defence going pretty well at the moment. And they run it out again. It's Matthew Phoebe. Kicks long. Gee, that was almost a free kick. Umpire, in fact, has paid it.
It's to be taken there by Grant Williams. We see he's crunched. Sorry, Robert Lemon, the player there that... no, it is Grant Williams. I was right in the first place, Robbo.
Yeah. The numbers in the football record are incorrect. 36 for Melbourne is Grant Williams. They've got him down here as number 35. So that's a correction that should be noted.
Kick at goal is 1 behind, so both teams missing opportunities early in the first quarter. Grant Williams was number 9 in the 1991 mid-season draft.
He was runner-up, of course, to Johnny Ballantyne, Footscray forward in the home and away goal-kicking table.
Kick into the outer side. Alessio again at the back. Chance for the Demons through Kilmartin. Hooks the ball across his body, and the mark taken by Willie Dick. 20-metre hand pass to the advantage of his side. Oh, the bounce really didn't favour them. And that was a nice interception out there by Wern. Player gets dumped. That might be a free kick. It's Phoebe.
Yeah, so he's hard dealt with after he'd got rid of the ball, only marginally, but the umpire right on the spot.
Hurd's kick in towards full forward is disallowed. He's going to have to do it all over again. Umpire asking him to kick over the man on the mark. Now, this is James Hurd, the player that I spoke about a little earlier, who took 16 marks in a senior match here on the MCG. That mark is taken by Ridley.
Here's another player with a bit of a senior experience this year, and a very promising player. I think we'll see a lot of him in the Essendon senior side over the next few years, Robbo.
Yes, I like the look of him. He's a a tall boy, very athletic, and can jump very high.
Gee, if his hair was a bit longer, he could almost pass for Paul van der Haar, couldn't he?
Yes, and Ridley's kick is offline. So the Bombers struggling with their shots at goal. They've kicked 5 behinds. Melbourne are 2-2. They're just getting back to Ridley, just going out of the picture there. A fine-looking young man, and at 23 years of age, he'll be one of the players that Essendon will be looking for. Improvement for next year. Eishold now for Melbourne, up towards half forward. It's bashed back over the centre circle. A free kick. Is it going to be an advantage? No. It'll have to come back. And it'll go back to number 38 for Melbourne, David Neitz, 17 years of age. Big, tall type of a lad there. Grenvold. Essert at centre-half back. He kicks it nicely over the centre, but it's thumped away there by Doyle. Melbourne have possession of the football. Oh, in lots of trouble there was Neitz, but Melbourne able to get out. Sean White gets the hand pass away. The tackle was a little high on Sean White, and the free kick will come back to that player just forward of centre wing.
So Sean White finally to take the free kick. Plenty of experience on his shoulders as well, as he kicks to the right forward pocket for the Demons, and the ball beating Simon Eishold out of bounds, and also Grant Williams. So a throw in close to the forward pocket, about 30 metres from goal, as the crowd builds up late in the first quarter of this VSFL match. That was Ridley up towards the centre wing position. That'll be Bauer, actually it was. This is Alessio wearing Justin Madden's old number out at Windy Hill, number 44. See, that was almost a throw. The umpire says OK. Grinter does go further forward, gets it to Eishold, a high kick. His kick will land round about on the 50-metre mark. Marking contest out there. Trying to shark it for Essendon was Fox, couldn't do so. White ridden into the ground, and the umpire will call for a ball up just inside the 50-metre line as the clock ticks down to 9 minutes left in the first term. Sean White, the last to get up. The umpire bouncing it there quite OK. Knocked down for Essendon by Considine. And off the ground, Essert, shot at goal, out of bounds on the full. Interesting kick. He's been watching Peter Dacos, I think.
Well, very strange move there. It was
the wrong end.
Wrong end of the ground, Pete. He's given a free kick to Cuthbertson. But Alan Essert, of course, Essendon's best and fairest player last year at senior level.
It's an own goal, would it be? So Cuthbertson, as Bernie said, kicked 7 against Essendon 2 weeks ago. Gee, that looks pretty good. 1 behind. So down Cuthbertson, he's kicked 1 so far today. David Neitz has kicked the other for Melbourne. So both sides off target. 2 3-5 behinds in the first quarter as the clock ticks down towards quarter time.
Well, they're kicking very ordinary, but they've found themselves kicking from the pockets on most occasions. There's been very few direct shots from in front of the goal.
Manton kicks in, the mark taken by Joe Masiti at right half-back. In front of the Great Southern Stand, used today for the first time in the grand final. Marking contest, and the mark is taken for Essendon out there by Hurd, James Hurd.
Hurd kicks quickly in towards centre-half forward. Melbourne have got 2-on-1. Dyson overran the ball. Philandia tackled by Steins, but he's able to recover quite nicely. And the little kick looked all right, but Hopgood was able to chip in. Steins and Eishold combined. Eishold's kick wide to the left half forward area. Denham recovers pretty quickly. The bounce was kind for him. Handball away to Essert. Essert's quick kick goes up near the wing. Opportunity for Grinter. He overruns it. In comes Dick. Dick held, but he didn't have the football. So Willie Dick will take the free kick for Essendon on centre wing.
Maybe just a little bit soft with the going over on that side of the ground also.
And Rodney Grinter with his left knee heavily bandaged, so he'd be a bit careful, I would think. Bauer. High kick by Bauer in towards centre-half forward. Danaher third in line, couldn't take the mark. The mark has been paid to the player in front for Melbourne. Number 39 is Robert Lemon. Again, just a teenager, 19 years of age from Dingley. He gets the ball wide to Wern. Wern's kick in towards the centre. Crumb gatherers, it was Masiti. Then Dick. Dick, his kick doesn't go very far. Considine overruns it. In comes Masiti for Essendon. Masiti's little kick is very good. Chance here for the Essendon side now. Number 45 is Mercury. Back to Masiti. Masiti's kick in towards full forward. Danaher overruns it. Melbourne have a chance now through Brian Steins. Oh, handball back. In trouble there for Melbourne was Lemon. Here's Ridley. Lemon again. Ridley off the ground. Can't control the football, and it goes over for a boundary throw in the left forward pocket for Essendon, as we have a look at Philandia being chatted to on the telephone by the reserves coach at Essendon, Dennis Pagan, and a boundary throw in the left forward pocket for the Bombers.
Alessio and Ridley. Ridley tries it off the ground. Bradley playing a real goal sneak. That looks pretty good from him. I think he's goal. He has. So Plain finally breaks the ice for the Bombers, and they go to 1-5, and they trail Melbourne by 4 points.
This one's been a long time coming for the Bombers. They're making another change. I think Philandia is coming back on the ground, so he's just had a chat to by the coach, and there we see a very good snap. We've known he's had that ability all the way through, Bradley Plain. He's had a lot of Achilles problems and injury problems throughout his football career, and we really probably haven't seen the best of him.
Back to the centre. Bradley Plain has now kicked 10 goals in the final series so far. That was his first today, obviously. Free kick to the Bombers to be taken by big Alessio. Kick straight down the middle of the ground, almost a mark to, pardon me, almost a mark to Doyle, and in fact the umpire has paid it at centre half back.
And Doyle plays on quickly, kicks it wide to Wern. Wern has made good position, looking to play on. Now a little kick. Has that gone the required distance? According to the umpire, yes. Taken by Dyson. His kick goes near the centre of the ground. Phoebe hard at the football. Alessio in there. The ball comes to the rear. Chance for Eichel. Tackled by Considine. Considine looking for the free kick, but the umpire decides on a bounce.
He might have been lucky to get away with that, Simon Eichel. He went to ground, dragged it underneath him. The Essendon player really just had to stand up and hold the Guernsey.
Of course, there are 3 interchange players in the reserves. Mesiti, his kick in towards centre half forward. Taken by Doyle. Handball to Phoebe. That's Matthew Phoebe. His hand pass to Wern. Wern, who took a long time to get his first kick, has now had 3. Up towards full forward. Little push out there by Cuthbertson, and the free kick to be taken for Essendon by Manton. This is Glenn Manton, who had a taste of senior football towards the end of the season. Kick out wide. Cowell couldn't quite take the mark, and it's been held in there by Grenvold. So we'll have a free kick, a ball up at left half forward for Melbourne, about 53 metres from their goal. They lead by 4 points.
Alessio went up on his own onto Dick. Pass coming from his teammate down there. 49 is Hurd, who kicks up toward Bradley Plain, who got the last goal. Plain long hand pass. Philandia overrunning it. Polled pretty well in the Gardner medal. He actually would have won it. He had 23 votes, Peter Philandia, but he was deemed to be ineligible. So a little bit unfortunate there. Eichel shuffles the ball across the boundary line, and it'll be a throw-in on centre wing.
Yes, of course, suspended throughout the season, Peter Philandia. So the medal, of course, went to Mick Dwyer.
Doesn't happen very often. 38 is Neitz. Umpire's found a free kick. It's going Essendon's way, is it? Yes, and the advantage, no. Not the
when
advantage.
is an advantage, Bernie?
Gee, you have to be careful, don't you?
It's supposed to be when the play is continuous. But really, we've seen so many different interpretations of the rule. It's hard to know when the umpire is going to play it and when he's not going to play it.
Alessio's kick marked by Doyle. Doyle from left half-back flank. Kicks out towards David Neitz, captain of the Victorian Schoolboys last year. Neitz up towards left half forward. Mark taken by Paul Hamilton.
It was a good effort by Hamilton. Free kick, though, been picked out, and it's going to Melbourne to be taken by White.
It's coming back, I think, is it?
Well,
yes.
He's gone around half a metre on his mark, so he's going to penalise Melbourne. The pass from Sean White was perfect, but that certainly seems to be over-officiating.
Sean White, too far out to score. Kick and a half from goal. Cuthbert's in the flyer at the back. Cowell overruns it. Right on the boundary line. Considine, Denham. Essendon trying to work it out of the pocket there. And if that's out of bounds, pretty close to the boundary line. Not quite sure whether it's going to be a ball up or a throw in.
I think that's a terrific example of forwards working very hard to make sure that the defenders in the opposition can't take the ball out without any contest.
Gee, that was almost tapped out deliberately, you'd have to say. Not so.
That's
2 minutes 50 left.
The Melbourne interchange bench there. Some young faces.
Neitz and Alessio over the top. Considine. Melbourne have the numbers. Oh, very solidly met down there was Brad Fox. But the Bombers should be able to get clear, and they do through Willie Dick.
And Dick's kick goes back near the centre of the ground where Grinter has judged the flight of the ball quite nicely. His kick in short. These are dropped, but maybe he should have taken. Effective tackle applied there by Williams. All clean and fair, and the umpire sees it as a ball up right on the 50-metre line for the Demons. Alessio doing well in the ruck. Denham can't break clear. Chance now for Masiti. Gets the hand pass back to Fox. A little bit of a traffic jam there for the Bombers, but Fox was able to find Grenvold wider still at left half back. David Grenvold, who was a fantastic player for Essendon a couple of years ago before he hurt his knee, and he's had a lot of trouble getting back into the senior team, playing as effectively as he was. Dyson, grabbed by Dick. Also in the action for Landia and Wern, and we'll have a ball up. Ball up at between the centre of the ground and centre half forward for Essendon. So the Bombers, there's a minute and a half left in the first term, so they've got a reasonable chance of a score here. Hurd gets the ball out, Plain very skillfully, a little too long to get rid of the football. Good talking there by Melbourne. 3 or 4 went to go for the ball. It was left for Sean White. His clearing kick close to the boundary line. And before Mercury could get there, it goes over for a throw-in.
First option was the best there for Bradley Plain. He had the opportunity to hand pass to Todd Ridley. Decided to try to beat another player, and then he was tackled and lost possession.
Just 1 minute left in the opening term. A free kick going Melbourne's way.
He got up nearly as quickly as Darren Goldspeak did last week.
It was amazing recovery. Kick up towards half forward. Breaking away is Neitz.
I like the look of this.
Yes.
I like the look of this young fellow.
He's competed very well, hasn't he? Only 17 years of age.
192 centimetres and 86 kilos. So got a good build.
Centering kick from Neitz. Hand pass came from Masiti. Dick. And now it's Landia. So last opportunities of the first quarter. Getting grabbed was Hurd. Chance for Dick now. If he can get clear, he can. Dyson won't catch him. Kick into the goal square. He's just about there. I think he's stopped it. He has. Great goal. So the Bombers hit the front. 2-5 to 2-3. And we've only got 10 seconds left before quarter time, and certainly the goal of the quarter, kicked by Willie Dick, Bernie.
Yes, he provided a lot of run there, Willie Dick. He hasn't really been able to establish himself as a senior player after he came across from Western Australia, but a magnificent running style of football displayed there by the Bombers.
Willie Dick, number 21 in the 1991 draft from Perth, getting the goal just on siren time. Can the Demons reply? Beveridge out of the centre. They've got to make something of this if possible. Clock ticking down. But as Manton kicks the ball out towards the 50-metre line, the siren goes. Wern won't take a kick. And at the first change, it's Essendon leading by 2 points after trailing most of the term. 2-5 to 2-3. Surface, Tim Watson and Peter McCann.
Well, Dennis Pagan was reasonably happy with the way the boys played in the first quarter. He did have a quiet word to Bradley Plain about not giving that first handball, as Bernie mentioned during the commentary. He also said that he wanted the forwards to move around a lot more and not to kick the ball so wide when they did enter into the forward line. And he said if they can't get that happening, then he'll have to take off one of the taller players from the forward line. But he was reasonably happy, although he did want the boys to give their first give and not to layerise with the ball. What about the Melbourne camp?
Well, Mark Cross, he was pretty happy with the first term, although he said that Essendon's first 3 goals resulted from poor turnovers by the Melbourne players, so he wasn't too happy with that aspect of it. He asked the players to get the ball moving quickly to the forward line, open it up for Darren Cuthbertson and get Cuthbertson to lead a lot more.
Sensational.
Well,
Was it?
Well, I don't know whether it was, Robbo, was it?
Oh, yes, top stuff down on the boundary line. Sometimes it's pretty hard, Peter, to get close enough to hear what the coaches have got to say. But
Sometimes they don't want you there.
well, it's quite refreshing if these two guys, Mark Cross, who is coach of the Melbourne Reserves, and Dennis Pagan, who's coach of the Essendon Reserves, both of them, I believe, have aspirations to coach at senior level. I know that Mark Cross has been interviewed for the Melbourne job, and I think Dennis Pagan is also interested there. So it's just refreshing that the boys on the boundary line can get close to them and get some information for the viewers.
And plenty of supporters still arriving. Plenty of means of getting to the MCG today. Public transport, obviously the best. And enjoying the sunshine in Melbourne today, which has been a rarity in September. The wettest September, I think, on record in recent times. And that's going to be awfully hard to get off tonight, one would imagine. But you've got to enjoy the footy. And that's the name of the game here today. The Cats on the West Coast in the main one. Second quarter about to get underway in the VSFL Grand Final. Essendon leading by 2 points after they trailed most of the opening term. Willie Dick getting a goal right on the quarter-time siren, virtually to give them that break. This is Bauer. Bauer out of the centre, still inside 50. Pretty hefty collision down there. No free kick for it. The umpire says play on. Hurd racing for it. Should be able to pick it up. Does so. Very hard to turn around. That's some of the muddiest parts of the MCG. Plain has a shot at goal. And after kicking one in the first quarter, he's registered only one behind. So Bradley Plain, 1 goal, 1 his tally.
There's a real opportunity there for Bradley Plain.
Mark taken by Lamprell, who in his first game kicked a bottler of a goal for the Demons in the seniors. It's out of bounds.
And his first kick in senior football.
First kick, that's
I remember
right.
it well, Pete. It was right down the opposite end of the ground from this. A left foot kick from the pocket was an amazing goal.
It was an amazing goal. One of the goals of the year, actually. But that's something else. Alessio trying to get clear as Dyson. Not having much success. Attempted block by Werner, not successful. Tackling's been pretty good so far in this match. Kick for Melbourne. Comes from Dyson. And it's out of bounds. Free kick to be taken for Essendon by Ed Considine. Been around now since 1986, since coming from Strathmore. Beveridge. Probably lacking a little bit of speed. Just can't quite pick the ball up there in the centre of the ground. Still inside the square, looking for a free kick as Dyson finally comes out with the football. Kicks it up towards half forward. A one-on-one duel and a good mark taken by Fox.
Fox, who has senior experience for the Bombers, his long kick in towards centre half forward, and a well-judged mark is taken by Doyle. He gets the hand pass away to Phoebe. Phoebe on the left centre wing. Long kick by Matthew Phoebe in towards centre half forward. No mark taken. Picked off magnificently by Neitz, but couldn't quite capitalise on that good work at centre half forward and missed to the right-hand side. David Neitz. We mentioned already that he's just 17 years of age. The kick in by Manton. Manton. And there's a mark taken by Neitz. So, no, it's a free kick. You see what that was for, Bernie? Maybe a shove there in the marking contest?
Yeah, I thought he used his body pretty well there, but the umpire deemed it to be a infringement, so the free kick going Essendon's way.
Little bit of good fortune here for the Bombers. The kick off the ground by Denham was picked up by Bauer, and a wonderful mark running with the flight of the ball taken by Hurd. Well, let's hope he carries on his form from late in the season.
Yeah, that was an amazing mark, wasn't it? Really running with the flight of the ball, as you said, Robbo, and he could have been cleaned up completely there. Eyes only for the ball. Terrific courage shown there by James Hurd.
He's only 19 years of age. The kick, rather ordinary, but gets nearly to the goal line, and it's stumped away by the Melbourne defence. Into the left forward pocket for Essendon. We'll have a boundary throw in. There's young Hurd. One of the trainers out there quickly to have a chat to him. Alessio caught with the football. Away goes Dyson. Tackled by Plain was all right. Grinter, good work. Here's Phoebe. Sweeping hand pass. Willie Dick gets it. Handball for Mercedes too high. Melbourne defence under a little bit of pressure, but they come through to the fore. It's Beveridge. His kick up towards half forward. Gathered by Williams. Handball away to White. White's little kick into the pocket. Too high, therefore, Bergman. And it goes over for a boundary throw in about 30 metres around from the Melbourne goal. Well, a promising foray up forward for the Demons. and it finishes with just a boundary throw in that forward pocket, as we see the Essendon interchange players there.
Yeah, Considine just off for Essendon, and he's been replaced by Adrian Burns.
Fox and Neitz will do the ruck work. Neitz has been impressive so far today, the youngster. Fox at the back takes this one. Blocked by Cowell. Kicked by White. Not successful. Grenvold should be able to get clear and does. After those knee problems he had that Robbo mentioned. This is Philandia. Gives the hand pass away to Bauer. Bauer's kicked down towards the right half forward flank for Essendon. A chance for them now. Alessio gives away the hand pass to TD. Danaher goes goalwards. Should have done better with that. And registers only one behind.
No, I think TD would be disappointed with that.
He's kicked 3 behind so far.
Yes, well, that was an easy one, really, for Terry Danaher. Good play by the big fellow there, Stephen Alessio, setting up the opportunity. But that's one that you would really see Terry Danaher miss.
And if you're an Essendon fan and you'd like to honour Simon Madden and Terry Danaher, the Bombers have a family day tomorrow at Windy Hill. The gates will open at 12:30 p.m. It's $5 entry fee for an adult, $1 for a child, and the counting of votes for the best and fairest, and also the best club man, best first-year player, best team man, and most improved will all be decided tomorrow at Windy Hill. So if you're an Essendon supporter, get out there and get into the action.
Dick, this is Burns, who started on the bench. More playing, good use of the body, very elusive near goal, onto the left foot, snaps, that's his second. So Bradley Plain now has 2 goals, 1 against his name. 3-7, the Bombers go further ahead to 2-4.
Yes, well, he really is the danger man on the Essendon forward line. We watch this in replay. Adrian Burns just on the ground for his first run in this second quarter. Just a little nudge out there by Bradley Plain. The umpire said it was okay, and Bradley Plain is very much a Dacos type player on the forward line. Has the ability to kick some magical goals.
3-7 to 2-4. Bradley Plain, who's had a lot of problems with Achilles, kicking 2 goals, 1 now. Good effort from him up forward. Cowell trying to get the hand pass away. This is Luke Beveridge right on 50. Gee, that could almost be a goal. And in fact, it is a goal kicked by, I think it was Williams, was it? Yes. So a quick reply to the Demons. Grant Williams putting through his first, and they come up to, again, within 3 points.
And the player doing pretty well for Melbourne at the moment in that centre square is the young fellow, number 26, Greg Doyle, who was picked up in the mid-season draft from the association. He's been rucking particularly well against Alessio and taking some very strong marks across half-back line. There's a player who kicked that goal, Grant Williams, a former Tasmanian. Had a little bit of a taste of senior football, but ended the season in the reserves.
So Essendon lead by 3 points. Alessio up high, taken away by Masiti. His quick kick has been marked just before centre-half, back by Simon Eishold for Melbourne. Good kick by Eishold too, out towards left half forward. No mark taken. Izard is there, the crumb gatherer, and he kicks very quickly. Izard looks as though he's just lost complete confidence in his own ability. And the Izard of old would have grabbed that football and run away with it, set up an opportunity from the half-back line. And a lot of times the finish would be a goal. Now's an opportunity for Izard into the open. Handball, just a little ordinary. Burns, that's a better hand pass to Bauer. Bauer's kick into the forward line. And a good pass, and Terry Danaher made it even better, taking a good chest mark about 48 metres from goal. A little kick into the pocket. Not bad for Landia. Phoebe.
Free kick.
Gee, that looked all right by Phoebe. You had to do something to try and stop the Essendon player from marking it.
Yes, I agree, Robbo. It wasn't a noticeable infringement there on Philandia. Here it is, Matthew Phoebe just going back, and really the momentum of Philandia going for the ball. That's the reason he fell to the ground.
Well, Philandia has the opportunity in the right forward pocket for Essendon. Number 34, Peter Philandia, recruited from Duda Stars, one of the famous suburban clubs here in Melbourne. But his shot misses. So another behind on the scoreboard for the Bombers. 3-8 to 3-4. And we've got about 18 minutes left in the second term.
Philandia taking up his position. Rod Grinter will bring the ball back into play, the captain of the Melbourne side. favours the outer side with the kick. Only marginally, knocked down by Fox. Will knock back into the arms of Essert, who can't take it, drags it in underneath him, and the umpire is going to bounce it right on the edge of the centre square. Ridley, the last to get up. 17 minutes left in the opening term. Doyle again, the Dandenong recruit, kicks to, or punches to Denham. Denham's kick lands inside 50. Strange bounce. Philandia overruns it. Denham tries to tie up his opponent down there. Plain, right on the boundary line. Gives away the hand pass. Bauer looks for one. Tears along the line. Danaher, you've got to kick this. And TD finally breaks the ice. 1-3 he's kicked. Essendon get their fourth, 4-8 to 3-4. The Bombers by 10 points.
It's very constructive play there again by Bradley Plain on the boundary line. So a battle on there. Bradley Plain just breaking clear. The hand pass to Bauer. Excellent play there by Bauer. Just pretending to hand pass it over the top. In the end, getting the second hand pass away to Terry Danaher. And 2D finally. He's now kicked 1 goal 3.
So back to the centre. Danaher gets his first goal. 10 points the difference. Ridley applies a tackle, looks for a free kick. The ball spills out the side, taken by Essert. His kick is a real up and under job on the forwards. I don't think would have really appreciated it. Socket off the ground, out towards the centre wing position. No one can take it. Taylor finally scooped it up. Umpire will pay a free kick for holding the man here. Sean White showing a little bit of experience. And he's going to take the free a little bit short of the left centre wing position.
Good play, though, by Fox. He did hold Sean White up. There's the hand pass out. Maybe the tackle just as he was hand passing, but the umpire right on the spot to give that a free kick.
Melbourne have made a change. Werner's on the ground, and Cowell has taken his place on the interchange bench as Willie Dick has the football at right half back for Essendon. Quite an accomplished player, Willie Dick, but hasn't quite come to terms with the pace of the senior level of football. Alessio just forward of the wing. His kick in towards a leading Danaher. The ball spills free. Here's Burns. Only been on the ground for a couple of minutes. Unselfishly to Plain, and Plain kicks his third. So Essendon just creating a bit of a gap on the scoreboard now. They lead by 16 points. Bradley Plain has kicked 3. Bombers 5-8 lead Melbourne 3-4.
Well, just starting to assert some authority. As we see this in replay, that pass from Alessio just dropping short, allowing Burns to leave the player there in defence. Robert Lemon in no man's land. He didn't know whether to stay or go. In the end, Burns just made him come that fraction further out from goal. A hand pass over the top made a certainty of that goal as Michael Simons comes back on the ground for Essendon. Or on the ground for his first run, is it, Pete? I'm not too sure, is it?
Yes, first run.
Yes, first run.
So back to the centre, 5-8 to 3-4. Bradley Plain certainly having a hand in quite a few goals. He's kicked 3 himself. Chance for the Demons now. Taylor can't get away an effective hand pass. Was it Ridley or Essert that kicked that off the ground? I think it might have been Essert that actually made contact with it. So the Demons now through Phoebe. Centering kick. Off the ground goes Bergman, which is a famous name in Melbourne territory. Mark taken by Taylor. No mark taken out there. Essert at the back did well. Hugs the boundary line with the kick. Hopgood that was. Gets the hand pass away, and again a chance for Melbourne to get a couple on the board, or one. They need a goal here because Essendon's starting to take command of this match. Denham's hand pass was effective. Hamilton kicks it out wide. Didn't quite make the boundary line with the kick. It won't matter. And the race for the ball here. It's all Melbourne. Grinter on centre wing. Beautiful smother. And that came off Grenvold. So we'll see a boundary throw in close to centre wing.
Yes, it's good to see a team doing those sort of 1%ers, as they're called, from some of the coaches. David Grenvold, an excellent smother, saving 50 metres.
Yeah, Smothers, I guess, will be in stats one of these days. Grinter to left half forward. No mark taken down there. Dick leading Taylor. He gets there first. Not a particularly good hand pass. Certainly made it hard for some of his teammates. Masiti. Philandia. A blind hand pass, that one. Denham nearly takes it, overruns it, tries to back up, gets the hand pass out in front of the pack. That was excellently done, and the Bombers are away. Essert up to Burns, who's been more than effective since he came on after sitting the bench in the first quarter. Masiti, Philandia at midfield. Essendon building something up Big leap down there by a Melbourne player. Has given away the free kick, and it will be taken by Danaher.
There's Lamprell up far too early. We watch this in replay. There he is, jumping onto the shoulders of Terry Danaher. He didn't actually touch the ball in that attempted spoil, so the free kick had to go to TD, who has passed it further afield.
To Burns.
And Burns will have a shot from around about 35, 40 metres out.
So Burns, 4 possessions so far. And that's only in the second quarter. Sat the bench in the first term. Well within kicking distance. Goal umpire moves only marginally. It's a goal. So Essendon with a bit of a run on. Burns getting his first and the Bombers 6th. 44-22, so the score exactly double that of the Demons.
Yes, the Bombers looking good in their second quarter. They've kicked 4 goals, 3 for the term to Melbourne's 1 goal, 1. And Melbourne really haven't had much happening past the half-forward line. Michael Werner coming off for the Bombers, and he's been replaced by number 41 Ryan O'Connor on for his first run.
Well, I've talked about teenagers for Melbourne, but O'Connor, who's just taken his place on the side in the team now for Essendon, number 41, is only 17 years of age. So both sides have got some young players. There's Michael Werner having a bit of a chat to the coaching staff. Chance here for Beveridge. Handball back. Stein's in all sorts of trouble. Danaher has the football, tries to move it on. Desperate stuff there by O'Connor, and also by Hopgood for Melbourne. The umpire could do nothing else but call for a bounce.
Hasn't been a real lot of fire in this game. Actually, it's been played in pretty good spirit, but
Not as much as the previous one, Bernie.
that was fairly spiteful at times, wasn't it? The under-18s, but this has been very quiet.
The ball bashed back near the centre of the ground, where Willie Dick skillfully gets through and gets his left foot to it. Danaher marks at centre half forward for Essendon. Well, at one stage, 4 Danaher brothers played for Essendon in a game.
At Moorabbin, I think it was, wasn't it?
It could have been. And all of a sudden, we've only got one here this afternoon. Terry Danaher playing in the reserves, maybe his last game. That was a good little pass to Ridley. And Ridley has a chance to kick Essendon's 7th goal.
Yes, it was a perfectly weighted pass there. It was about 2 centimetres over the outstretched hand of Luke Beveridge.
Ridley really should kick this. A nice looking kick, but it's not accurate enough, and Todd Ridley disappointed with himself, registering another behind for the Essendon side. So they're 6 goals 9 now, the Bombers. Melbourne 3 goals 4. The Demons kicked 2 goals very early in the first term, kicked a goal quickly about halfway through this second quarter, and their only opportunity so far for goal kicking in the match.
Grinder's spiral punt kick was a good one for Melbourne. Oh, Isol getting hit with a grandstand roof there. Looks for a free kick. I don't think he's going to get one. He's not too good.
And getting another one on the way up there, I think, too, Simon Ishold. I think that one came from Ryan O'Connor as he's trying to get to his feet.
So a bounce just outside the square. It's all Essendon for Landia. A quick kick inside 50. Ball socket off the ground for Melbourne. Out the direction of the member stand and the boundary line. And finally, ooh. That was from Lemon.
Commonly referred to as hospital hand passes. You have to sit there and wait, and you know if you get crunched, you can finish up at St Vincent's.
Well, there's a free kick.
Golly.
Free kick going to Essendon out of this to be taken by Burns. That was terrible play there by Lemon, setting up Darren Cuthbertson, who now seems to be having a run on the back line.
Burns has kicked into the pocket. Mark taken by Lemon.
He said, I'm not hand passing this time.
Winter. This part of the ground, a little bit heavy, but a lot better than most of us thought after the rain we've had in the last few weeks. Grenville tried to punch from behind. Backup support from Philandia. Gets ridden into the ground by Beveridge. That's a pretty hard part of the turf too, because that's been covered. He did well to get a kick out. It kicks up towards half forward, and the mark is taken for the Demons down there by Shane Bergman, who's the son of Lloyd Bergman. Comes from Berwick. Lloyd, of course, played for Melbourne a few years back now. Good to see his son in the side. Marking contest. Oh, that's a good grab. Kick came from Simons, and the mark taken by Lemon. Goes outside. It's Bergman again. There's not much of him. Michael Tuck build out there. And Berwick, he's got the same sort of build. Free kick going Essendon's way. Hurd. Kicks in field. And mark taken at midfield.
He's a tiger for Landia, isn't he?
Gets a lot of kicks. Easy to see why he topped the voting in the guard in the middle. And this is Rod Grinter. So the Demons will be away. Cuthbertson. Quick hand pass. They've got to get something moving now. Miss Steins. Back it comes to Steins again. The hand pass coming from Kilmartin. On it comes to Wern. And that kick is off target. That'll be a behind. By Stephen Wern. Demons badly needing some goals before half-time. 6-9 to 3-5. Under 9 minutes left in the term.
Stephen Wern, recruited to Melbourne from Sandringham in the VFA, is the brother of David Wern, who plays with the Brisbane Bears. Manton, a long kick out towards left half back. Marking contest. The ball comes to the rear. Chance here for Hopgood. Gets what was could have been a risky little hand pass. Now Matthew Phoebe. Long kick in towards full forward. Simple mark in the finish taken by Grenvold. Very experienced campaigner, David Grenvold. Great to see him on the ground. Denham takes the hand pass into the centre of the ground, where Terry Danaher's taken the mark for Essendon.
Now playing at centre-half forward, Terry Danaher.
Looks a little bit more comfortable, Bernie, doesn't he, when he gets out into that centre-half forward position?
Yes, he sure does. There's nearly a good mark, Alessio.
Chance here for Dick, Dyson, Masiti. Well done, Masiti. Willie Dick over the top to Fox. Fox at centre-half forward, gets through, then a short kick in towards full forward. And a free kick is going to be paid to Essendon, and it'll go to Adrian Burns.
Yes, against Grinter there. He was dragged down by the Guernsey, Adrian Burns. He's been pretty lively since he came on.
6 possessions, Bernie.
Yes, he's been a good contributor for the Essendon side. We see this again. We see the firm grip on the Guernsey there by Rod Grinter, slinging Adrian Burns to the turf.
Well, Burns is only about 25, maybe 30 metres from goal, so he's got a chance here to kick Essendon's 7th goal. And just takes a little bit of a stab at it and misses to the left-hand side. So 6-10, plays 3-5. Essendon exactly double Melbourne's score. And Grinter kicks into the far side.
This time with a drop punt. Highshold kicked him with a torpedo before, and it was a beauty. Out to centre wing, 2 Melbourne players are racing for the ball. Steins, Brian Steins gets there first. He's taken a little bit longer to adapt to the game than his brother. Brother Jim, that's Hurd, who takes the mark. Fox, a couple of grabs at it, might get a free kick. He will. Darren Cuthbertson has a few words to the umpire. And Brad Fox, almost a centre half back, kicks to half forward. Was there some interference there? No, Alessio tried to barge his way through. Ball socket off the ground, out towards centre wing. One-on-one duel out here. Bauer will get there first. He does. Spears in the pass. Oh, is that a bump ball or a mark? It's a mark taken by Grenfold. What a good effort. Alessio steams forward. Tackle is by Doyle. Ball spills free onto the wing. No one can take it. It's almost tied up out there by White. Breaking away for Essendon is Grenfold. There's a little bit of a to-do behind play. Play does continue. Danaher, no, he can't take it. TD plays on. The veteran. Oh, what a magnificent pass that is. Ridley should goal from there. 25 metres out, but he's missed. And Bradley Plain says, hey, in the goal square, here I am, son. You've missed me.
He's going to get another kick. Might be a shepherding against Simons. Ridley had the shot for goal, and Simons will receive the free kick.
Well, Plain was on his own in the goal square. There's no one within about 8 metres of him. So Michael Simons from Subiaco, number 8 in the 1991 draft, kicks at goal. A wobbly kick off the boot, but it's there. (7-10 to 3-5). It's becoming a bit of a procession. If the Demons are to get back into this match, they need a couple of goals, Bernie, before half-time.
This has been a big quarter by the Bombers. They have got a lot of class in this Essendon side. Throughout the season, they participated in 114 senior games, this Essendon team, as compared to Melbourne's 82 senior games. So you can see there that the difference in the experience.
Here go the Bombers again. Dick to Bauer. Bauer's kick. Well, in the finish, I think Bauer would have been a bit disappointed with that. They had the break from the centre, and his kick finishes about 50 metres closer to the Essendon goal, but a boundary throw-in will take place at right half forward. Chance for Grinter. Little tap over for Cuthbertson. Cuthbertson's kick up towards half forward. No mark taken there by Neitz. But there to tidy up again is Bauer. He's played very well for Essendon across that half-back line. His kick goes towards the wing. Cuthbertson, that could be a free kick to Darren Cuthbertson.
Where's he playing, Bernie?
Well, he started off at full forward, Peter, but now he seems to be playing across half-back line. Of course, the ball not getting down on the Melbourne forward line all that much in the second quarter.
Good kick by Cuthbertson. And Dyson takes the mark. He can get the hand pass away. We're in all sorts of trouble, Simon Eishold. And Alan Izard giving away what could be classified as maybe a professional free kick. The Demons looking a little dangerous. Players held up at left half forward.
Yes, the tackle really started in the right position, just slipped high in the end.
Kicking towards full forward. Punched away by the Essendon defence, who have been very good. Away goes Philandia. Loves to carry the football. A little left foot kick is excellent. Plain marks forward of the centre of the ground. His kick in towards full forward. Danaher can't quite take the mark. Dick tries to take the football from an awkward area. Melbourne players remonstrating with the umpire. Number 39 for the Demons is young Robert Lemon.
There's the book coming out.
Well, the umpire's paying this for a trip. And I don't know whether this is for an offensive language, but I think he told him where to go again there. Young Robert Lemon, he's still having a few words.
And there's no point really, is there? I mean,
There's
once
nothing.
it's done, it's done.
There's a free kick against Lamprell. And an obvious trip, there's no doubting about that. And Willie Dick in a little bit of trouble there. We've seen some serious incidents, especially the one to Peter Foster in a similar incident to that where he broke his leg and it really ruined his season. And now Willie Dick's in a similar sort of predicament here. He looks like he will limp off the field and take his place on the interchange bench. But players are really throwing out their legs indiscriminately on certain occasions when they realise they cannot apply the tackle, and it is really becoming a dangerous part of the game.
Well, Ridley has the free kick about 40 metres out directly in front. And a lovely kick by Ridley's a goal. So Ridley kicks his first goal. And Essendon get their 8th as Willie Dick limps off the ground with 4 minutes left in the second term. Essendon 8-10, Melbourne a 3-5.
Yeah, it's a big quarter by the Bombers. They could really have been further in front. Some of their kicking for goal has been a little bit ordinary. So we see that free kick again paid there against Lamprell, just taking the legs out from underneath Willie Dick.
Of Dr. Bruce Reid having a look at him. 58 plays 23. And he's in a little bit of pain still, Willie Dick. Free kick has been paid up midfield by Philandia, or to Philandia. Grinter looks for the hand pass. Cuthbertson was the target. Bernie said playing on half-back or thereabouts now after starting at full forward, but that's out of bounds on the full. So things falling into place for the Bombers. And the free kick is going to be taken by Brad Fox, who came from Perth, number 12 in the national draft of 1988. Huge pack of players down there, none can mark it. And Melbourne through Beveridge might be able to run it away. Not a good hand pass though. Simons. Oh, Danaher will get this 2 metres out, and Terry Danaher kicks his second goal. So it's a bit of a procession now. Danaher's kicked 2-3. And this has been an excellent quarter for Essendon. They've kicked 7 goals.
Yes, it's been a big turn by the Bombers. 7 goals, 5 in fact, and the Melbourne side has only been able to kick 1 goal too. And really, you see this, it just bounces over. Terry Danaher or Bradley Plain could have kicked that goal. In the end, Terry Danaher kicked it, but Essendon have kicked 9 out of the last 10 goals. So that's the sort of procession we're seeing at the moment.
Bombers hit the front just before quarter time, but it's been one-way traffic since then. Doyle goes up against O'Connor. The Demons, can they get it out of the centre to try to get just a couple back before half-time? Izard tackled well. I think that was Denham that booted out up towards full forward. Plain this time can't take the mark. Alessio charges his way through. Ball shuffled out the front of the pack, and the little fella gets absolutely crunched and looks at the umpire and doesn't get a free kick.
He's a real terrier, isn't he, Peter Philandia? As Robbo said, you can see why he could attract a lot of votes from the umpires. Similar size to Tony Liberatore.
Yes, you're right, but it doesn't look unlike him at all. Alessio again, beautiful smother right off the boot. Dyson can't get clear. Ball finally kicked out of the pack up towards centre wing. Knocked away by Stephen Wern. Hamilton, a very experienced defender for Essendon. He's got good backup support too, coming from Grenvold. Another experienced player.
Good kick.
Yes, up to Philandia again. Long looping hand pass. Put Bauer under plenty of pressure. Almost a hospital job again. This is Luke Beveridge from right centre wing.
And Beveridge's kick is pretty good. Oh, Neitz dropped what he should have taken, but recovers. Short kick taken by Howard, who's been on the interchange bench for most of this first half. The kick in towards full forward. Could that have been a mark paid to Hamilton? Bit stiff. Essendon will clear. Ball rebounds now for Hurd. Young James Hurd, 19 years of age. He kicks it long, very effectively out towards the wing. Burns has come up from the pocket, can give the hand pass away, but decides to go on with it and then kicks a little well-weighted pass into the centre of the ground. Simons combines with Mercedes. Mercedes' little kick is very well done. Bradley Plain marks at centre half forward.
Yeah, great exhibition by the Bombers in the second quarter of team football. Really, Melbourne haven't had a look in this term.
Plain. This kick will stretch him. Well, it was an ordinary kick in the finish. Should have been marked back there by Doyle. Taken there for Essendon by O'Connor. And he can't break clear, so the umpire will be forced to bounce about 10 metres from the Essendon goal.
It was an awkward floating kick in the end, trying to take that mark. There was Doyle, but really just floating and dropping quickly.
And Sean White, high over the top of the pack, thumps it through for a rush behind to Essendon, as we have another look at Willie Dick's leg. Willie Dick on the interchange bench, being replaced just a few minutes ago. Now he's going to just try himself out with a bit of exercise around the boundary line, so that's not a bad sign for the Bombers.
I hope he's okay. He's been a valuable player. Sean White marks the kick in. Plain stands the mark as the clock ticks down to half-time. In fact, we've got less than half a minute to go. O'Connor underneath it. Went up one-handed. The young lad from Ulverston couldn't take the mark. Bauer, who's been good across the half-back line. Good tackle by Beveridge. If he can make something of this, he falls over at the crucial moment and can't capitalise. And the Bombers are able to tie it up. Simons there, number 12, from Subiaco. But Essendon have had pretty well every answer, especially in this quarter. And there is the siren for half-time. An excellent turn by the Bombers. They didn't give Melbourne a sniff. Essendon hitting the lead just before quarter time. They went up with it in that term. 9-11-65, leading Melbourne 3-5-23. Time, and they lead by 42 points at the main change. Multiple goal kickers for Essendon. Bradley Plain has 3. He's kicked 3 goals, 1 actually. Terry Danaher has kicked 2 goals, 3. And for Melbourne, all singles to Darren Cuthbertson, Grant Williams and David Neitz. So the Demons with the job ahead of them in the second half. Well, we've seen some spectacular marks during season 1992, and that brings us to our Mark of the Year competition now. Let's take a look.
7 Sport Mitsubishi Motors Mark of the Year. Your phone vote could win you a Mitsubishi Magna. Dial the phone number on the mark you want to vote for. Mark 1, Tony Lockett, St Kilda. Mark 2, Wayne Wiedemann, Adelaide. Mark 3, Darren Jarman, Hawthorn. Mark 4, Darren Wielden, Fitzroy. Mark 5, Nicky Winmar, St Kilda. The winner of the Mark of the Year will also receive a Mitsubishi Magna. You have until 4 p.m. today to register your vote.
So there are the marks, and there are the phone numbers. They're all 0055 numbers on your screen. If you wish to vote for Tony Lockett, the number is on the right. And likewise with
Hearts, Geelong for Victoria will tear Eagles apart. Come one, come all to the MCG for Cats' glory and victory will surely be. Go Cats! Go Cats, Geelong!
Show a little bit more commitment. It happens to be a grand final, Tim. not just go through the motions, and he said that Essendon just got far too many easy goals, and just not a good enough performance.
Did you hear of any moves that will be made during this third quarter?
I thought you might ask that, Tim, and no, I didn't actually hear them. I moved out of the room.
So you didn't get right into the inner sanctum like I did with the Essendon rooms?
Well, I mean, you're a legend at Essendon, aren't you? I mean, you get in anywhere there.
Well, actually, Dennis Pagan was reasonably happy with his players at half-time, as he well might be. They played very well in that second quarter. And just listening to him speak at half-time, I really got the impression that he might make a very good senior coach. And
he's got a top record, hasn't he?
Yes, and of course he is one of the guys still apparently on the Melbourne Football Club shopping list.
Well, he's coaching a senior team out there. Every one of those Essendon players has played AFL first football, and it's a star-studded lineup. I think they've just got too much talent for Melbourne.
Right, thank you, gentlemen. I think just about everybody in Australia is on that Melbourne list. Bernie, are you on it?
No, well, I think Tim Watson might have been mentioned there at some stage. The only one not mentioned was Peter McKenna and myself. Looking at the second quarter stats, well, the Bombers dominated the term, kicking 7 goals, 6 for the quarter to Melbourne's 1 goal, 2, and as you would expect in the stats there, look at the free kicks, though, the discrepancy there, I think mainly because Essendon was the first side in for the ball, using their body well, putting their bodies in. Hit-outs went Melbourne's way. As I said, Doyle at one stage doing particularly well at the centre bounces, but at ground level, 8 centre clearances to 1, so that really told the story. Melbourne just couldn't get the ball into the forward line. And the overall stats, again, well in favour of Essendon. They really have dominated from the first bounce. The only area that they've let themselves down in is their kicking for goal. Had they kicked straight in the early stages of the first quarter, the game would have been well and truly over by now.
42 points the difference as we begin the third quarter. 9-11 to 3-5, 65 to 23. The Demons with the job ahead of them. Bauer can't get clear from midfield. There's a good hand pass, comes out the direction now of Matthew Phoebe, and if that's a goal, that's just what they want to start the third quarter. It is. More of that, say the Melbourne supporters. Phoebe putting through his first goal, and the Demons come up to 4-5.
Yes, well, again, that goal coming from a great thump away there in the centre square by Greg Doyle. Bauer just a little bit slow getting the ball to boot there. A top hand pass away there coming, I think, from Grinter, the player getting the hand pass to Matthew Phoebe, and a great goal on the run.
Well, it just goes to show, Peter, you must break away from the centre, and then you've got a chance to kick a goal like that.
A good tackle, too, to get the ball off Bauer. Doyle again, up high. Oh, and another knock-on. His way out of the centre, as we said, so important. Cowell fumbled. Chance for the Bombers to clear it away. Hurd kicks up towards the 50-metre line. In fact, it landed right on it. A bit of paint on it, I think, now. So it comes towards the boundary line. Pretty heavy over there. And Phoebe, who kicked the last goal, just losing his footing right on the boundary. And so we will see a throw-in about 75 metres from goal.
I think Matthew Phoebe was in two minds there, whether to go slow and hope the ball stayed in, or whether to quicken up and try and catch it before it went over the boundary line, and in his haste slipped over. Chance now for Eishold, very close to the boundary line. Denham, Izard. Izard's high kick doesn't go all that far forward. It went pretty well straight up in the air, and the mark has been taken by John Howard for the Demons. Now Howard showed a lot of promise a season or so ago, but has been struggling a little bit of the last couple of years. Fox, nice handball. Grenvold caught. The tackle was okay from Beveridge, and the player's unsure there as to where the football eventually finished up. The umpire will be forced to bounce. That's Luke Beveridge in the picture there. Joe Masiti for Essendon. Considine doing the ruck work. Up goes White. Grenvold at the back. Leaves it now for Hurd. Beveridge the tackler. The kick goes wide. Chance for Cuthbertson, but the ball bouncing end on end away from Darren Cuthbertson and goes over for a boundary throw in the left half forward flank region, about 65 to 70 metres around from the Melbourne goal. The Demons have kicked one goal already in this third quarter. They need a bag full if they're going to have a chance of winning the game. Fox, Izard, now Denham. Denham runs away from half back, kicks it long, up towards half forward. No mark taken. The ball comes through to the back. Burns and Grinter. Burns a lovely tap over for Plain. Plain shot for goal from a difficult angle is, well, needs no description. Bradley Plain not happy, and the free kick to be taken in that back pocket by young Bergman.
And Terry Danaher not happy either, because the percentage kick was the centering kick in front of goal where Terry Danaher was waiting.
Kick coming from Hopgood up towards midfield. Big Ridley gives the hand pass away. That came from Willie Dick back on the ground. He was, he got a trip and went off. And he seems to be moving quite okay, so that's good news. Mark taken down there by Phoebe. Away he goes. Kicks it up towards the edge of the square at right half forward. Melbourne player being held down there. Might be a free kick. Umpire pays the advantage rule. There's a push in the back as well. A solid defence down there from Hamilton. Sees the ball safely over the boundary line, getting it away from Grant Williams. So boundary throw in right on 50. Melbourne's right half forward flank. 65 plays 29. 21 and a half minutes left in the third quarter. No decisive work in the ruck. Cowell on the bottom. And we'll see a ball up. Sun peeps through again, so that's good news. Hope it stays out for the rest of the afternoon. You go back to 1987, it was 30 degrees on grand final day when Carlton played Hawthorn. A bit different this week. Bombers clear it out again. Philandia on the edge of the square. Geez, quick, isn't he? Gets the ball to the opposite side. Doesn't gain too much. Cuthbertson, he seems to be back on the forward line, or perhaps he's got a roving commission. John Howard. And a good mark. He's taken down there by Dyson, who tries to get clear. Look for someone to kick it to, then kicks it long into the square. Strong mark needed here, and Essert off the ground again. And has rushed it through for one behind to the Melbourne side. So 4-6 to 9-11. Demons led early in the first quarter. In fact, for most of the term. Essert marks the kick in. But it was Essendon by 2 points at the first change.
That was amazing. Essert wandered around there for it seemed like an eternity, and then still was able to get on his own to take the kick in from Manton.
Something that Mark Cross wouldn't be happy about. Eishold sees it over the boundary line.
Well, there's someone not manning up doing the right job at the moment. Essert seems to be playing an on-the-ball role. So I don't know whether Hopgood's his man or whether it's Eishold, but no one seems to be going anywhere near Essert. He's still running around by himself.
Sean White and Fox. And the mark is taken down there for the Bombers by Ridley. His kick inside 50. Plain leads out and takes the mark. Geez, elusive. He's kicked 3 goals, 1 so far, and had a hand in another goal, which he gave to Terry Danaher, who's kicked 2 goals, 3. So those two on the forward line have created a lot of problems for Melbourne. He's certainly taking his time, and there's Danaher telling him to kick it long.
He's given 3 leads by now, Terry Danaher. I don't know what he's doing, Bradley Plain. I don't think he'll make the distance.
He'll get arrested for loitering shortly. Plain, 55 metres out. She's given a decent old roost, and it hit the post actually in the end, so 1 behind to Bradley Plain. His tally for the day, 3 goals, 2. Certainly took a long time there to kick it. 9-12 to 4-6, a difference of 36 points.
So Rodney Grinter kicks the ball back into play for Melbourne. High flyer was Lemon, couldn't quite take the mark, but his recovery was pretty good. He kicks it back near the centre of the ground, no mark taken. Ball comes out to the back. Brilliant gather there by Ridley, away for Grenvold. Grenvold bumped as he kicks, and Philandia made a fantastic effort to get back there. Now Hopgood away to Howard. Howard's handball, little ordinary. Eishold, now Beveridge. Beveridge, little kick in near the centre of the ground. Essert came on the scene a little late, mopped up by Howard. Howard's high kick in towards centre half forward, marking contest. No one can grab it. Cowell, oh, he was a chance to take it with him then. Williams, now Hamilton. Hamilton's kick back near the centre of the ground. Masidi, the mop hair of Joe Masidi. Play goes on. Lemon at half-back. He's already been reported, Robert Lemon. And that kick, there's a bit of a dust up there at centre half forward for Melbourne.
Let one go.
The kick in towards forward pocket for Essendon. Tidied up by Bergman. Away he goes to Doyle. Doyle's little kick out near the wing. Chance here for Cuthbertson. 2 players missed him, and he was still able to get his kick away. Up towards half forward. Essert, well done. And he marks. Plays on quickly. Sweeping hand pass gives the chance to Denham.
Former Geelong player goes straight down the ground. Forward line pretty open, and that's a strong mark. Taken by Ed Considine. He's been at Windy Hill for a few years now after coming from Strathmore in 1986. And, decent old right hand there.
Yeah, it's coming from Andrew Lamprell. So, well, They needed to show a little bit of fire, but I think that's misdirected.
Agree with that. So the Bombers might be able to get the reply if Considine is accurate. After Phoebe kicked the first goal of this quarter, I don't think he is accurate. One behind. Registered by Ed Considine, his first score of the day. 9-13, plays 4-6, 17 minutes left in the third quarter. Grinter to kick in again. Just kicked in with drop punt mainly. Got onto a couple of good torpedoes. Marking contest out there on the edge of the square. Pretty quick hand pass, a chain of them in fact. And then Melbourne, or Essendon it is, through Simons ultimately. His kick is smothered and that was well done. So the endeavour is there from Melbourne if they can just convert up on the forward line. Oh, Howard with a real coat hanger job.
Oh, he's sure. How could he not pay that free kick? He didn't pay the first one.
Well, when Johnny Howard tried to crash his way through, surely the tackle was too high the
Oh,
first
no
time,
doubt,
wasn't it?
no doubt.
Howard with the free kick. Certainly coming into prominence in the third quarter. He's got the right idea, going in pretty solidly. No one can take the mark. Well, interesting old hand pass. Eichhold has a shot at goal. But Simon has missed and put it through for only one behind. So a behind kick by the Melbourne veteran. 9-13 to 4-7. 67 players 31.
24 years of age, Simon
Oh,
Eichhold.
said a
I don't
veteran,
think
yes.
you would be impressed with that.
No, but he's been around a fair
classification.
while, hasn't he?
Oh, my word, yep.
Robbo at Melbourne.
Yes.
Sean Denham. Could be a veteran at 20, I suppose. Kick up towards the wing. Simons has taken the mark. Simons at left centre wing. Plain in front. Can't take the mark. He might be able to make amends. He's always dangerous. Gets well tackled by Shane Bergman. And the ball is out of bounds.
Peter, in that passage of play, Simons taking the mark, getting up quickly, kicking the ball down to the full forward line ever so quickly, and all of a sudden the defenders are under enormous pressure. Bradley playing on the other hand on the other side of the ground, taking too long, allows the defenders to set it up a little bit easier to knock it away from the forwards.
Alessio Doyle and Considine contest. Plains kick out of bounds on the full. He's looking for a free kick. I don't think you're going to get one, Bradley. So there's no addition to the score. 15.5 minutes in, and Dyson to take the free kick.
Dyson, high kick out towards half back. Doyle tries to crash his way through the pack and take the mark. And couldn't quite control it, so boundary throw will take place. Simon Eichhold in the picture there. 24 years of age, from Ormond Amateurs, which have been a great football club, Ormond Amateurs, over the years. Won a stack of premierships in the Amateurs. Here's Terry Danaher. Kicks it across his body, but hooks it a little bit too far, and it's through for another behind to Essendon. Terry Danaher.
2 goals for Robbo to Terry Danaher, so he's been off target today.
Grinter kicks in pretty well the centre of the ground. Taken by Hopgood. Tries to get the hand pass wide for Bergman. Chance for Cuthbertson. Helped out by Eichhold. Gee, that was ordinary. Eichhold. Handball for Bergman. Taken by Denham. Now Burns. Burns for Essendon. Kick in towards the forward pocket. Danaher from behind. Couldn't quite take the mark. Not quite the same spring in the legs of Terry Danaher as it was evident a few years ago. That's Brian Steins there for Melbourne. And it will have a boundary throw in the right forward pocket for the Bombers. It's about 25, maybe 30 metres around from their goal. Ruckman, Doyle and Alessio. Doyle has done a pretty good job. That's a free kick against Alessio. And the big Melbourne boy will take the free kick in the left back pocket.
Dandenong recruit. Eichhold from left half back. Kick dropping a little bit short up towards centre wing. Izard it is. Clean possession from the Essendon. I'll call him a veteran too. He's been around a while. Lemon gives the hand pass away, and the Demons will come out of this through Neitz, who was prominent early in the game. Simons has impressed us with his speed. That from Subiaco, and Bradley Plain has taken the mark. It was in this position about a couple of minutes back. He took almost half an hour to kick it. Let's see what he does here.
He's slightly closer with his kick, Peter.
3-2 he's kicked so far. That's a good sort of a kick. Oh, that's a goal. Great effort. Bradley Plain gets his fourth. 10-14 to 4-7.
Yes, well, Bradley Plain, he's very dangerous across that forward line, whether in the air or on the ground. He's just, he's got a great goal-kicking sense. He knows where the goals are. He's made a couple of mistakes throughout the day by not getting the ball off quickly enough. But he has to be watched very closely because he is very damaging.
Back to the centre. 4 goals today to Plain. He's kicked 13 now for the final series. Mark dropped out there for the kick coming from Izzard. Philandia goes down. Burns with a clever knock on. Oh, he can get another one here. Plain. That's unselfish play. Danaher should kick his third. And does. So Terry Danaher has now got 3 goals for. And the challenge for Melbourne, Robbo, it would appear fairly short in this term.
Well, they kicked that goal at the very start of the third quarter. And since then, Essendon have controlled the game once again.
It's a badly missed mark there by the Melbourne defender, Kilmartin, setting up that goal for the Bombers. And Terry Danaher, the two-pronged attack, Danaher and Bradley Plain, they've contributed 7 goals between them.
Yes, well, I think he'll still be all right, Terry Danaher, to play football for a few more years yet. Maybe not at this level, but certainly somewhere in a captain-coach role. Melbourne have got the ball up to their 50-metre line. A battle for possession. Chance for Williams? No. Very close to the boundary line. And Grant Williams saying hello to the photographers. Down there in that right forward pocket region. About 50 metres from the Melbourne goal. So a chance for the Demons to get their 5th goal. Gee, they've been few and far between. They kicked 2 early in the first quarter, 1 early in the second quarter, and 1 at the start of this third quarter. Phoebe, Eishold, able to get round onto that right foot and kick it high in towards the goal square. And a good mark. Well done, Lamprell. Excellent mark taken in the goal square. And he surely should kick Melbourne's 5th goal.
So there won't be any trouble from this distance for Lamprell. He'll be kicking from about the edge of the 10-metre square. And that is a terrific mark. A solid chest mark under a fair bit of pressure from the opposition.
Lamprell kicks the goal. So Andrew Lamprell kicks his 1st goal and gets Melbourne's 5th goal, but they still trail by 43 points.
Yes, and they've never really looked like getting into the game. In that first quarter, they started proceedings pretty well, but couldn't put the score on the board. Here's that mark again. Under enormous pressure there from the Essendon defender in Glenn Manton, as we see it from another angle. He's shown a little bit of spirit in this third quarter.
Andrew Lamprell kicking his 1st goal and Melbourne's 5th. It's still a fair difference, 43 points, and they trailed by 42 points at half-time after that 7-goal, 6-second quarter by Essendon. Alessio, little topo kick. Simons, good tackle applied by him on Eishold. Oh, Jesus. Untidy stuff in here. Stein's got a push in the back. Oh, well, that might be looked at.
Yes, there's been a little bit happening.
There has, Bernie, hasn't there?
In this third quarter. Some of the Melbourne players, especially Lamprell, has been throwing his weight around a bit in this term. There's a crunch from Lamprell. He did keep his arm down.
So a bit going on. The Bombers go forward. Masiti up towards half forward. Marking contest out there. No one can take it. Danaher. Oh, Essendon player goes down. It might have been Philandia. Now Grenvold's got the opportunity. Charging through Shane Bergman. Looks for a short pass, and that's okay. Kick up towards centre wing position. Came from Grinter. Wasn't particularly good. Denham. Loose ball. Plain caught behind. Lemon. Already had his number taken earlier today. Comes out with the football. Solid looking customer. Obviously can go a bit. Beveridge from midfield. Kicks at goal. Might even be a goal. Hamilton just cuts it off. And 1 behind to the Demons.
Well, really, the spirit that Melbourne shown in this third quarter, you would have expected in the opening 10 minutes or so, but it was a very quiet opening by both sides.
Manton kicks in. Hurd. Must up from the back pocket. Hamilton. one of the many players with senior experience in this Essendon lineup. Alessio caught from behind, and the umpire's found a free kick. Ridley doesn't know which way it's going.
Alessio gave the little nudge out, spotted by the umpire.
So Cuthbertson to take it. Stein thought it was his, but it's Darren Cuthbertson on centre wing.
Cuthbertson's kick into the left forward pocket. Essendon defenders punch the ball away. Manton. Now Izzard. Izzard's kick back in near the centre of the ground. Well done there by Hopgood. Eishold. Dyson. Beveridge. Hopgood again. Hopgood's kick just to the right-hand side of the goal square. Sean White. Matthew Phoebe just gets his foot to the ball. Chance again for Lamprell. Kicks as he was falling, and the ball lands in the pocket. Sean White. Gee, the Essendon players desperate there, as was Matthew Phoebe. The umpire will call for a bounce deep in that right forward pocket for the Melbourne side. Melbourne are 5-8. Essendon are 11-14. Bradley Plain has kicked 4 goals for Essendon. Terry Danaher has kicked 3. Denham gets the kick back out. Didn't go all that far. Taken away by Hurd now for Essendon. Back near the centre of the ground. Terry Danaher flies high. Couldn't quite take the mark. Down goes Grinter. In comes Bergman. Maybe an advantage rule being paid here. Bergman in trouble. Caught by Burns, and you should get the free kick, maybe Adrian Burns.
Now, Robbo, that's when the advantage rule shouldn't be paid.
That's
because
right.
Bergman was not in control of the ball. Burns was ready to pounce. Here we see the tackle, a terrific tackle by Burns, but really there was no advantage because at the time Bergman wasn't in control of the ball.
Dyson tries to crash his way through. Simons to Denham. Denham's kick into the centre of the ground. Willie Dick nearly took the mark. Burns, beautiful hand pass. Alessio to Philandia was probably half a metre out, but Philandia was able to get his kick up towards the full forward area. Bradley Plain and Lemon. Bradley Plain with experience gets around onto his right foot and kicks his 5th. So 5 goals from Bradley Plain, 3 goals from Terry Danaher. Essendon 12-14, lead Melbourne 5-8.
Yes, he's not great overhead, Bradley Plain, but once the ball hits the ground, he's really cat-like in his movements. He reads it so well. He just gave that little movement to the right and then back on the left, and from a pretty tight angle, Bradley Plain has caused the Melbourne defence plenty of headaches.
So Bradley Plain has kicked 5 goals, 2 now, as the Bombers charge on. This is Simons from midfield. Subiaco. Lemon with a big fist, or attempted big punch away. Couldn't do too much with it. Considine likewise can't do too much with it. Umpire's found a free kick, and Brian Stein, I think, is going to get it. Yes, he is. Statistics not really too impressive today for him. Kicks from centre half back, lobs it out to the centre wing position. Danaher will go the spoil and does so effectively. And picking it up in front is James Hurd. Well, nearly picking it up in front. Cuthbertson out there.
Hurd to get the free kick, I think, Peter, for a high tackle there.
James Hurd from Ainsley. Alessio behind. Gives out the hand pass. Dick. Considine.
Oh, well done.
Oh, Plain. Number 6. 6 goals, 2. Bradley Plain has kicked. Well, pretty sensible. Why kick it out of the ground? 13-14 to 5-8.
Exactly, Peter. I
You
agree
wouldn't want to
entirely.
stub your foot on the dirt in the 10-metre square and miss the ball altogether, would you?
Well, I don't think there was any danger of that, Robbo. He had about another 5 minutes to sit back there and roll a cigarette or whatever, have a cup of tea.
You nearly
Melbourne
did.
defence, they were miles away, but there he goes and retrieves it himself.
They still weren't there. So back to the centre. It's one-way traffic here for the Bombers.
Certainly
Burns,
is.
oh, could have been
No
a free kick for
I can't
Landia.
believe it.
And Eishold tangle. It'll be a ball up.
Yeah, Philandia has been a good player for Essendon. Took a lot of possessions, 12 kicks and 5 hand passes, and 3 marks to Peter Philandia. Bounce near the centre circle. Alessio beaten for it by Doyle. Grenvold there. The bounce is awkward for him, but gets the hand pass away for Willie Dick. Grenvold took it away from Dick in the finish. And Cuthbertson again being penalised.
Well, the question there, Robbo,
tackle
did the player duck his head? And I thought he did on that occasion as he saw Cuthbertson coming in to tackle.
Well, Grenvold's kick goes up towards the right half forward region, and that's young Hopgood there for Melbourne, with his socks down and jumper out. Rather scraggy looking character, but fairly effective. He's had 4 kicks and 7 hand passes. Werner tackled, but he didn't have it. Tried to make it look worse than it really was. Out comes the hand pass. Here's a chance now for Masiti for Essendon. His kick up towards the front of the goals. Punched away by the Demon defence, and it goes through for a rush behind to Essendon. So the Essendon score is progressing quite nicely. 13-15-93. Melbourne lamenting at 5-8-38. So the difference is 55 points as Grinter kicks into centre half back. And the mark is taken there for Melbourne by Hopgood. Hopgood kicks it high, near the centre of the ground. No one can quite take the mark. Bauer. Now it's taken away by Eishold. Eishold off the left foot. Poor kick. Easily marked at centre half back by Fox.
Brad Fox got one as he kicked the ball. No free kick downfield. Huge pack of players. Danaher up, applies a good tackle. So too Burns was there. Steins gets dumped. Considine nearly got legged as he tried to get clear. Good hand pass. Philandia grabbed and taken down. Umpire calls play on. Danaher looking for someone to give it to. Can't find anybody. Has a shot himself and can't believe that he's missed it. So Danaher has now got 3-5, I think, Bernie.
Yes, 3-5 to Terry Danaher. And, almost a free kick would have been given there to the little fella who was tackled Peter Philandia when he didn't have the ball.
Brian Steins, oh, he's playing Gaelic football with it now. Goes off the ground, and quite cleverly, I might add.
Did very well.
He did. This is Howard. Eishold at midfield.
That's better.
Up towards half forward. Mark taken for the Demons by Matthew Mackay. Mackay's kick into the goals. White behind, can't mark. It's already crossed the line, so one behind. Kick by Matthew Mackay. Coming from Hawthorn. Just over 3 minutes left in this third term. Manton kicks the ball clear of hand and foot for the required 2 metres and then kicks it longer. Out towards the half-back line. Masiti was the flyer, might have given away a free kick. I think he has given away a free kick, not too much doubt about that. Shanitz. Good mark. Brought in by Hopgood. As Robbo said, looks a little bit untidy. This is Lemon, who was in defence earlier, but he's kicked a goal this time. So Robert Lemon from Dingley getting his first goal, and Melbourne's 6th, 6-9 to 13-16.
Yes, all Melbourne's goals coming from individual goal kickers. They really haven't had the forwards there capable of turning this game around, mainly because of the dominance of Essendon at midfield. The ball has been coming down to the forward line so very slowly, whereas when the Essendon get the ball on the forward line, they get it down very quickly and have many players there capable of kicking goals.
Well, they've got a chance again here, Melbourne. Dyson just able to keep his footing. John Howard receives the hand pass, kicks it wide towards left half forward, punched away there by Hurd, and just before Hamilton can make anything of it, it goes over for a boundary throw in. Left half forward flank for Melbourne. It'll be 2 kicks from their goal. Paul Hamilton, a dour defender, not a lot of kicks and hand passes, but certainly doing his job as part of the Essendon defence. Hopgood, his kick to front of the square. Oh, is that a mark? Brilliantly taken by Mackay, who has only been on the ground for a short time.
Yes, that was a brilliant mark. He really went for that with determination and courage. He threw himself sideways across the front of the pack. A terrific mark.
189 centimetres, recruited from Hawthorn. Mackay goes for goal and kicks it for the Demons.
He's got 2. He's first.
Yeah, well, I've got him down for his first there, Pete. Yes, I think it's all individual goal kickers now for the Demons. That's his first. He's kicked 1 goal 1. There's that mark again, just drifting across the front of the pack there. And he's the type of player that Melbourne really need to build on. A mobile, fairly tall player who can take a mark and kicks the ball well.
It's a Royce Hart job, that one, wasn't it?
It was.
So back into the centre after that spectacular mark and goal from Mackay. 94 plays 51. Philandia Mercury rather applied a good tackle. And still they haven't got it out of the square. Finally Denham does. Picks up towards half forward. A little bit late on the scene was Burns. There's Philandia shooting out a hand pass. Howard, he's been lively in this quarter. Philandia again, twist into trouble, gets out of trouble. Good hand pass at the end to Masiti. Essendon working the ball forward, pure weight of numbers. Back it comes to midfield. Beveridge. Cuthbertson overruns it. Grenvold. Up towards half forward. Danaher. Ball smothered. Demons defending desperately. John Howard, as I said, he's been lively in this term. Effective disposal to Cuthbertson. He kicks it up towards midfield. And taking it away is Stephen Wern. His brother plays for the Brisbane Bears. Considine, good spoil. No mark taken down there by White. And breaking away is Hurd. Hurd's kick. Oh, gee, Bradley Plain, is he covering some territory? He's getting plenty of results too. Over to Dick. He kicked a beautiful goal earlier in the game at this end in the first quarter. Oh, strong mark, Danaher. TD, you're as good as ever, son.
Yes, and a well-placed kick, very well-placed kick there, came from Willie Dick. As Todd Ridley's back on the ground. So the coach swinging the changes at the moment there, Dennis Pagan.
Kilmartin had a chance here. Yeah, just stopped at the last minute.
Yes, he was in a nest of three Melbourne defenders, but a terrific kick there coming from Willie Dick.
Three-quarter time siren. Danaher shoots at goal. He's kicked 3. He's now kicked 4. So the Bombers in an unbeatable position really at three-quarter time in this VSFL Grand Final for 1992. Essendon cracked the ton 14-16 and Melbourne 7-9-51. Leading Melbourne 7-9. Major goal kicker for Essendon is Bradley Plain. He's kicked 6 and Terry Danaher has 4. Players, he's taking a look at the ground now that's been involved in the seniors. There's Barry Stoneham under a little bit of an injury cloud earlier in the week with Achilles, they said. Some people said a calf. Neville Bruns, well, great to see him back, Bernie.
Yeah, it's terrific to see the 33-year-old Geelong player getting a chance. Probably won't have too many more chances. Maybe his last game for the Cats. But he's a player that Geelong could really do with in the grand final. A tense situation. He's a real tough customer.
Let's see what job he gets this afternoon. It will be interesting, and so too is our Mark of the Year competition.
And 7 goals in a grand final.
Well, Mark Cross was going around giving individual tuition to nearly every player, and I think you'd be better off getting down on your knees and saying a few prayers at this stage. I think they're gone, as a matter of fact. But Greg Wells was in there, a former Melbourne champion. He was geeing him up and telling him to get in there and go for broke.
Well, they did start the third quarter particularly well, didn't they? They showed a bit of vigour. They had the first goal on the board, but all of a sudden Essendon tightened up again, and Melbourne's thrust was thwarted.
Well, Essendon are a class side. They're a much better side than Melbourne. What did you hear over there, Tim?
Well, Dennis Pagan was still pretty quiet. He said he wasn't particularly happy with the way they started that third quarter. He felt they were a bit soft and that they were just expecting to win. He said he set them a target at the start that's going to win every quarter, and that's what he expected them to do. So I think we'll see a pretty committed Essendon side even in this last quarter.
I think they'll bolt him, don't you?
Well, I think that it's too big a gap now for Melbourne to bridge. So I think Essendon are looking at a premiership this year. Well, maybe not the senior one, but a second.
Well done, Tim.
I had nothing to do with it.
Tim's on the West Coast Eagles list. The final quarter gets underway in the VSFL Grand Final. Trying to pick it up for Melbourne there was Beveridge. And this young guy's done fairly well today too for Melbourne. Hopgood. Gee, that's almost a push in the back, is it? Umpire says it is a free kick. It was John Howard. He had a pretty good third quarter. Certainly gave the Demons something in midfield. Grenvold, one of the many experienced players in the Bombers lineup, kicks up towards the wing position. Cuthbertson overruns it. Maybe the story of the Melbourne side today. And number 34 is Peter Philandia, who, as I mentioned earlier in the day, topped the votes in the Garden Medal with 23, but was ineligible to win it. Good tackle applied down there by Eishold. A couple more tackles as well, and Philandia looks for a free kick. So too does Werner.
Alessio's in a little bit of trouble. I noticed him hobbling around that third quarter and still running very gingerly at the moment.
Michael Werner kicks up towards Ridley. Got a couple of hands to the ball. Couldn't take the mark. It was almost a throw. The umpire says no. Play on. Howard's kick back towards centre wing position. Again, a marking contest. Dragged down by Neitz. Gives the hand pass away to Beveridge. Right on the Foster's emblem on centre wing. Kicks it to midfield. Burns with a pretty quick sort of a hand pass. And looked like a good hip and shoulder.
Well, it was a hip and shoulder, OK, Pete, but the player had his head down trying to pick up the ball, and he has to be protected. Well, that's one of my pet hates, when a player is in that sort of situation, and the player does come in a very dangerous sort of situation.
Denham took the free kick, gave it to Burns. Kilmartin trying to get into the open space. Alessio got a push in the back, the big fellow. And yes, he does look a little proppy there, doesn't he?
Yes, he's been, since halfway through the third quarter, he's been really limping around the ground.
So Stephen Alessio kicking in towards goal. And Ridley almost couldn't take it. The ball rushed over the line for one behind to Essendon, their third rush behind of the day, taking them to 14-17. 101, Melbourne still languishing there, some 7 odd goals behind.
He only had to take that one cleanly, Todd Ridley, and it was a certain goal to Essendon.
So Phoebe kicks the ball back into play for Melbourne. Terry Danaher gathers, but couldn't quite get his kick away. Bergman for Melbourne. A quick kick out wide, close to the boundary line. The ball bounces and eventually goes over in front of Brad Fox and Mackay and Izard. Boys will be boys. And the umpire takes control and requests the boundary umpire to throw it in. 101 plays 51. Brian Steins and Werner doing the ruck work. In after it there was Mercury. He couldn't control the footy. Lemon gets a tap on the head from Izard. Izard's got plenty to laugh about because his side leads in their quest for the reserves premiership by a handsome margin, 50 points. Now a chance for Masiti. Masiti's kick high in towards the centre of the ground. Good mark taken by Cuthbertson alongside Willie Dick. Darren Cuthbertson plays on quickly. The kick was a little too short and enabled Ridley to chip in and mark in front of Howard. Well done, Todd Ridley. Dick has done some good running because he was awarded the free kick on the other side of the ground, or a mark against him was taken by Cuthbertson, and now Dick kicks the goal.
2 good goals kicked by Willie Dick, both very similar, Bernie. The first kick he had for goal in the first quarter, a little bit longer, but a similar result.
Yes, well, Terry Danaher would have got the free kick had it not been a goal, because he was dealt with pretty severely there by Rodney Grinter in the goal square. But Willie Dick providing plenty of run. He seems to have recovered OK from that heavy knock he received earlier. We see Rod Grinter cannoning into Terry Danaher.
Willie Dick gets his second goal in Essendon's 15th, 107 plays 51. And that might have been a tad too high, I think.
He's done a pretty good job, this young bloke, for Melbourne in the ruck, and they're quite a promising type player, Greg Doyle.
Doyle from Dandenong, Simon Eishold. As I said before, gee, Essendon free kick behind the play.
He's had a raw deal, Cuthbertson. I know that was pretty ordinary, but gee, there's been some free kicks given against him.
Well, it was an ordinary shepherd there, a very high one on Manton. I think there might be a bit of blood streaming from his nose there. Very, very ordinary shepherd.
Dick again kicks to the edge of the square. Plain overruns it. Burns. He's done well since he came on. That might be downfield, is it? The whistle went. Danner has got the mark. The umpire's going back to speak to a couple of players, or will the ball come back? Now the emergency umpire's coming out. There's a fight at the other end of the square. A bit happening off the ball here. A few tempers becoming frayed. Grenvold throws Beveridge down. You can laugh when you're that far in front. So Burns has got the free kick. Wasn't downfield. That's a good sort of a roost into the goal square. Gee, that lad's got a leap, hasn't it? It was Mackay again, I think, Matthew Mackay.
He's pretty lively, isn't he? He's livened things up for Melbourne since he came on the ground.
Took that magnificent mark. This is Brian Steins at right half-back flank. Dyson. Burns won't catch him. What's going on here? 50 metres.
Penalty.
First one of the day.
And what was that for, Robbo? Did he run across the mark?
I thought he played on.
I think Kevin Dyson was going to run off, and obviously the umpire had asked Burns to come back on the mark and didn't move.
So Away he goes now. Kevin Dyson. That's a grab to... who's taken it?
Lamprell, I think, took that
again.
mark.
Yes.
Yes.
He has. Was it Neitz? Neitz.
Well, Neitz got the mark. I thought Lamprell had his hands on it at the same time.
I think he did, Bernie.
Well, he was okay early, Neitz, but as with a lot of the Melbourne players, well, I thought actually Lamprell was bringing it down and Neitz stole it.
I think you're right. So Neitz, David Neitz, who captained the Victorian schoolboys last year from Parkmore, certainly showed a bit in the first quarter when Melbourne led, and he's kicked a goal in his second. So it's Melbourne's 8th. They still trailed by 50 points with 19 minutes left in the match.
Yes, and he's the first Melbourne player to get amongst the multiple goals. Neitz, as we see this again, I thought actually Lamprell, first grab of the ball. Well, maybe Neitz, the man in front, had to be paid that, I suppose, but a good effort by both those players attempting to take that mark.
So back in the centre, play recommenced. Alessio high, couldn't get an effective tap out, but he's going to gather the ball now. No, he's not. It's taken away by Doyle. Doyle's high kick will be marked by Dick. No, play on. It must have been touched off the boot. Eyeshoal. Lovely little hand pass. Lamprell. Lamprell's kick into the pocket. A good mark taken by Manton. And as you said, Bernie, there's a bit of a bloody nose there for Glenn Manton. Away to Izard. Izard's kick is long. Out in the Mercury direction. Gathers it. Nearly slips, but able to get the hand pass over. Grenvold slips, but he's able to control the football. Gets his kick away in towards centre-half forward. And an excellent mark taken by Werner.
I like the way Werner plays, actually, Robbo, but he spends a fair bit of time on the interchange bench.
Yes, obviously something wrong as far as the coaching staff is concerned with Michael Werner's play. Terry Danaher couldn't control the football. Howard, little tap off the ground. Chance now for Grinter. Grinter's handball to Cuthbertson. Cuthbertson, his kick will have to be good. And just running through it was Phoebe. Denham, handball over the top. Chance for Mercedes. Mercedes' kick is a floating punt kick in towards half forward. Howard dropped it. Through comes Eyeshoal. Eyeshoal now, short kick, not too bad. Into the path of Cuthbertson. Gathers, gets the hand pass away, which is not bad footy by Melbourne. Dyson runs and backs himself to get past Hamilton. And his left foot kick into the pocket probably should have been marked by Sean White. Izard cleans up for Essendon, and away go the Bombers through Bauer.
Bauer, a good player earlier in the match. Hamilton, he was unspectacular but usually effective. Denham, kick away again up towards the 50-metre line, and lead is prominent from Ridley. Terry Danaher calling for it in the goal square. He's picked up now by an opponent.
He still could have got the pass off to Terry Danaher.
That's right. Tries the spiral punt at the end. Oh, a ripper. So Todd Ridley gets his second goal, and Essendon's 16th.
So he's kicked 2 goals too, Todd Ridley, a player with 10 senior games in 1992 for the Bombers. Had a pretty good year, Todd Ridley, as did a lot of the Essendon players out here today. Of course, Kevin Sheedy is always prepared to switch the changes pretty quickly if a player's not performing, and that's why most of these players have had a few senior games throughout the season.
17 minutes left in the match, 113 plays 57. Todd Ridley has now kicked 2 goals too. Bauer, gets nearly cleaned up by Howard. Still the ball's there to be won at midfield. Bauer trying to go through again, can't do so. Finally, the whistle does go.
I think it was too high on Dyson, Peter. He'll take the free kick. Kevin Dyson, of
Right
course,
in the circle.
He played a lot of senior football last year for the Demons, but had a groin operation at the start of 1992, and it's held him back.
Gone for the short pass. Eyeshoal on the end of it. Kicks long into the square. White in front, went up one-handed.
Oh, well done.
It's kicked through by Neitz. So he's now got 3. 16-17 to 9-9.
Yes, a very clever take there by David Neitz. And he's a pretty promising type player too, as we see this in replay. It looked as if the Essendon player was going to defend grandly Hamilton and knock it through, but a great steal there by Neitz, and thinking quickly got it onto his boot while he was in mid-air.
Yes, he did that very well. and managed Melbourne's 9th goal. 16-17 to 9-9. Alessio a little early. Doyle does well. Cuthbertson the chance. Gets his left foot to it. Kicks it out towards the wing. Opportunity for Bauer. Can't quite control the football. Now it becomes an awkward bouncing one. And in to help him is Hurd. His kick. Pretty well smothered there by Hopgood. And we'll have a boundary throw in as Hurd limps away.
Done well, Robbo, hasn't he?
Yes, he's quite a promising young player, James Hurd. 18 kicks and 4 marks. Top effort. Dyson gathers it. Oh, well done, Kevin Dyson. Then got the hand pass away, looking for Eyerschild, but the tackle on Eyerschild, well, maybe a little unfair, and that's the way the umpire sees it.
It was a wonderful tackle earlier there by Philandia on Beveridge.
Eyeschild's kick into the pocket. Nearly a mark taken there by Grenvold, is it? Or Hurd?
I think,
Hamilton.
I think the emphasis on nearly, Robbo, because he didn't hold that long enough. The umpire paying it, though, so Essendon a little bit fortunate. Certainly didn't control it long enough for mine.
Well, it's Paul Hamilton in the back pocket for Essendon to take the kick. No, it's not. It's going to Hurd. So, again, his statistics very impressive. His kick across the goal. It's taken by Fox. Fox may have cramped up a little bit.
And now, what's that, a 50-metre penalty?
Yes.
I didn't think you'd be able to get there.
Against Sean White.
Well,
sometimes these things really intrigue me at times, why these 50-metre penalties are paid.
And do you think they're intriguing Sean White? He's back there shaking his head in disbelief. Play goes on. Mercury back to Hamilton. Hamilton near the centre of the ground, kicks it high, up towards centre half forward. No mark taken. Nearly gathered there by Alessio. Tries to get the hand pass away. Bradley Plain just harassing a little bit to make it difficult for the Demon defenders to clear the ball, and it's knocked over for a boundary throw. And we've got under 15 minutes left in this game. Essendon will be the reserves premier side for season 1992. Not much doubt about that.
The Demons going down again in 1991 as well to the Brisbane Bears. So 2 losses in a row, consecutive losses to the Demons in grand finals, reserves grand finals.
Cuthbertson takes the mark on left centre wing, started at full forward, and then Mark Cross swung him up to defence to try to lift them. Mark taken by Lamprell. But no matter how many moves he has made today, none really has been that successful. Chance for Hopgood. He's been prominent at the odd occasion. Steins to right half forward. White, good gather, but unfortunately for him, then runs straight into Izard. Good tackle. Grenvold comes out with the football. Essendon really have the numbers here. They should be able to run it clear out of defence. Kick there coming from Mercury. At Melbourne it is, on centre wing. It's Bergman. Up towards half forward. 2-on-1 in favour of the Demons. White could have marked that one. Dyson used to play a lot of his football in a longer sleeve jumper. But Izard, safe in defence, takes the mark in front of Luke Beveridge. And away they go. Hamilton. Cuthbertson runs at him. Bauer. He's been pretty solid across the half-back line. Former Richmond player. And Alessio has taken the mark. Too far out to score. Centering kick. Might have been touched off the boot, that one. Won't matter anyway. Werner couldn't take the mark. Play continues. Werner picks up. Kicked 5 goals last up. Snapshot this time is off target. And Michael Werner has registered, I think that's his 3rd behind Bernie, isn't it?
Yes, 3 behind Michael Werner, but he has spent a fair bit of time on the interchange bench. Had a couple of chances early in the game. Missed fairly straightforward shots.
114 plays 63. Bergman again. What was it? Hopgood. Up to midfield. The Demons come. Hamilton's in the road. Crunch. Ooh, and that was pretty high as well on Mackay. And he's pretty promising sort of on that. That mark was a gem, highlight of the game, I think. Well, certainly from my point of view, I thought it was a beauty. Mackay's kick. Almost a one-hander taken down there. Hurd can't get clear. Now he can. And Hurd kicks up towards centre wing.
And he does fairly well, too, to get the ball to Bradley Plain, who avoids Bergman ever so easily. And then a little short pass. Terry Danaher could nearly kick a goal from here. Terrific kick by Terry Danaher is a goal.
A 5.
It's 5 goals, 5, Terry Danaher. And a big lead now to the Bombers. They've gone right away with this match since quarter time when they led the game by, led the Demons by 2 behinds. The second quarter they kicked 7 goals, 6 to 1 goal 2, and really opened this match right up, setting up a big margin at half time, and they've gone on with it in the third quarter and again in this last quarter.
So Terry Danaher certain to be cheered and cheered off the ground, kicking his 5th goal. He's kicked 5 goals, 5 today. A splendid effort from him. Plain, can't take it. Demons defending desperately. There's Phoebe. Cuthbertson's in there. Werner gives out the hand pass. Oh, I can get another one. 25 metres out, and he has kicked a goal. So 6 goals, 5. He's kicked 18-18. Essendon to 9-9. Exactly half.
Yes, well, the old champ, 35 years of age, Terry Danaher, 313 senior games for the Bombers. He was a leading goal kicker in the seniors in 1979 and 83, and the best and fairest in 1982. He's been a wonderful contributor for the Essendon Football Club.
And captain for 6 years, Bernie.
Yes, and still a great competitor. There's no doubt about that. Slow down a bit, not as much spring in the legs, but very dangerous.
So TD, a great effort to go out on. As you, I think, said earlier, Robbo, he'll be playing football somewhere next year. No much doubt about that.
Yep.
Valandia, quick little kick up towards Lemon, who can't get clear. But it really has been one-way traffic since quarter time, hasn't it? Melbourne has tried hard. This is Dyson. Oh, that's a towering kick. Off target, though, unfortunately, for the D's. And he registers only 1 behind.
Gee, that was a big kick, wasn't it? From about 55 metres. I reckon he kicked it about 10 metres into the grandstand.
126 to 64. 11 minutes left, and it will be Glenn Manton to kick the ball back into play.
He goes to the far side where Essert has made good position. His short kick has been marked by Fox. Fox bombs away out towards the wing. Goes through that pack of players. Brian Steins, handball, intercepted there by Grenvold. Tackled by Lamprell, but Grenvold gets his footing quite well, but it's taken away by Steins. Steins' kick in towards centre-half forward has been marked by Denham. Denham's handball away. Essert forced to kick quickly with the left foot, and it falls in short, and Brian Steins takes the mark. He gives away a little bit of ground to get the ball towards Bergman, and Bergman has taken the mark. Well, he wouldn't be all that further forward than where Steins was, but now he kicks it quite nicely up 45 metres towards goal. Taken by Hurd. Handball away for Denham. Denham at left half back. Hooks the kick in towards the centre of the ground. Danaher a chance once again if it bounces kindly. It does. Tries to get the hand pass out to the advantage of his team. Away goes Kilmartin, back to Grinter, and the Demons have the football now within 30 metres of goal. The ball comes to the ground. Chance here for Cowell. No. Taken away by Sean White. Advantage may be paid, and Mackay will kick the goal for Melbourne.
He has got his second now.
So 2 goals there to Matthew Mackay, who came off the interchange bench in the third quarter. Melbourne 10-10, but they still trail Essendon 18-18. The difference is 56 points.
Yes, well, this is a replay of that free kick given on that occasion to Darren Cowell, but the advantage paid. Cowell was legged. The umpire in a good position to see that. The advantage paid, and of course ending up with Matt Mackay kicking his second goal.
There's Mackay in the picture as the central umpire retrieves the football. Doyle, the Melbourne ruckman, up against Alessio. 9 3/4 minutes left. Doyle does well in the ruck again. Through comes Cowell. Can't tap it to his team's advantage. Now Ridley away to Valandia. Valandia's high kick. Floats towards half forward. Steins couldn't take the mark. Is this Danaher's 7th goal? Hits the post. 6 goals, 6 to Terry Danaher. And the big crowd that are assembling here at the Melbourne Cricket Ground for the main game between Geelong and West Coast, I'm sure they'll give Terry Danaher a wonderful round of applause when this game finishes. Denham tried to get the ball there to Considine, who'd just come off the interchange bench. Now the football rebounds in Melbourne's line for Beveridge. His kick, and if that's not a mark, it could have been nearly a free kick to Mackay, taken away by Fox for Essendon, and he runs through centre half back. Brad Fox. Away he goes, kicks it high towards the centre of the ground.
Brad Fox, who was suffering from cramp about 15 minutes ago, moved pretty well then. A little toe poke by Sean Denham. Good tackle by Werner. But the hand pass comes out the direction of Stephen Wern. Wern's kick up towards the half-forward line. Loping after it is Manton. But the mark has been taken by Mackay again. He's done all right since he came on, hasn't he?
Yes, Alessio now coming off. But, of course, he's done his job in the ruck. The game well and truly won by the Bombers.
Still looks a little proppy.
Yes, very proppy. Replacing him is Ryan O'Connor.
So back with Matt Mackay. Decent sort of a kick too. White from behind. Couldn't take the mark. Pounces on it. Tries to get the hand pass away to Cowell, was it? That's Cowell, number 7.
Yes, he's tackled high there by Izzard. And he didn't duck his head into that, Pete. He was down there when the tackle was applied. Well, Alan Izzard looks a little bit bemused by the decision, but I think it was a correct decision because Cowell was bending over when he was tackled. He didn't duck into the tackle. There he is, down low, picking up the ball, and just coming up as he's tackled high. So a good decision by the umpire there.
So Darren Cowell, he comes from Claremont in Western Australia, 3rd in the 91 national draft. Kicks at goal and gets the goal. His first goal, and the Demons adding a little bit of respectability to their scoreboard, 11-10 to 18-19, but it's a pretty fair deficit, 53 points. And basically, they've gone goal for goal with them in the second half, but to no avail.
Yeah, Sean White now having a spell for Melbourne, and he's been replaced by David Taylor. But as you say, Peter, the damage was done in that first half.
So back into the centre, 51 points the difference. It was 42 at half-time. O'Connor picks it up, looping hand pass. Willie Dick couldn't take it. Luke Beveridge can. Kicks up to half-forward. No mark taken. Might be a free kick, is there? No, Mackay had it.
Made again, Pete.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been very good, hasn't he? I think he may have even paid that mark, the umpire.
5. This is his 6th kick.
Well,
Oh, look at the kick. What a beauty. Into the goal square. Oh, good mark that time by Lamprell. He had a juggle go with one of his mates, David Neitz, before. Bernie and I couldn't work out who took it, but there's no doubt about that one, Bernie.
and what a kick there from Mackay from inside the centre square area. It covered a good 60-65 metres. And take the one grab of the torpedo like that. The spiral punt was very good from Lamprell.
Lamprell kicks at goal and gets his second. So Andrew Lamprell, excellent mark, and he kept it off with the goal. Yeah, they're hard to mark, those, aren't they?
Yeah, it's very difficult, but the condition of this ground, as we said earlier in the commentary, has come up a real treat. And here we see this mark again. Lamprell judging it perfectly over the top of Hamilton, in between Hamilton and Manton. And he's shown a bit today, Lamprell, if he doesn't go from a trial by video or some similar circumstances later on in the grand final week. We'll see what happens on that one. There's a few interesting incidents early in that third quarter.
Yeah, behind the play, most of them too.
Umpire recommences play. Frelandia leaves it for Werner. Werner's hand pass, not too bad, but it's Kilmartin who gets back for Melbourne. He kicks it wide towards the wing. Mackay again. There's a free kick against Considine, maybe for holding on, because Mackay certainly didn't take the mark.
Yeah, he's holding the Guernsey, Robbo.
Mackay's kick in short. Mark is taken by Howard. Now, Demons just finishing reasonably well, but their first 3 quarters were pretty ordinary. They only managed to kick about 5 goals for 3 quarters of the game. Up towards full forward. That's a top effort by Hamilton.
Yes.
Back there for Essendon.
Yeah, great mark, wasn't it, by Hamilton? Only played 3 senior games for the Bombers this year, and looks like he could have been just about discarded by Kevin Sheedy. Would have been a free kick anyway. Lamprell with that left hand over his shoulder.
Well, when you see a replay of an effort like that, you certainly appreciate Paul Hamilton. Essendon forced the ball close to the boundary line. That's James Hird. And we'll have a throw in about 55-60 metres around from the Melbourne goal. They've kicked 12-10. Essendon are 18-19. And a chance for Melbourne again here through Eishold. Can't gather the ball. Dyson maybe. Well tackled. Terrific tackle applied by Denham. Chance for Hird. His hand pass goes out in the Beveridge direction. Taken by Neitz. A fraction slow to get rid of the football. Hamilton back there and takes a good mark. standing very, very solidly on that last line of defence. Away go Essendon. This time it's Simons. He runs through centre half back and kicks it high. A wobbly punt kick into the centre of the ground. Danaher can't take the mark. It rebounds back towards Mackay. But Danaher's in the action once again. So is Johnny Howard. Handball away for Hopgood. He's got no one to give it to. Eventually he's got to kick it across the ground. Looking out here for Doyle. Doyle gathers the ball. A heavy shepherd behind, play by Cuthbertson. Essendon have got the chance here. No, it rebounds back towards Doyle. Quite a skillful player is Doyle for a big man. And the little kick, just a little too high there for Dyson. Essendon a chance. No, it's Eichel. Can he get past? Yes, he gets the handball away. Opportunity for Neitz, but that kick brilliantly chopped off by Hurd, and away go the Bombers.
James Hurd from Ainsley had a very good game today. Oh, solid contact down there made. Rebound comes out to Cuthbertson. Cuthbertson's kick up towards the left half forward flank. Opportunity for Luke Beveridge, who overran the ball when it was kicked out of bounds. And I think that kick might have came from Alan Izzard when he was lying on the ground.
It's a very heavy clash between Burns and Kilmartin, the one you called there, Pete, but Burns has never been worried about the physical contact side of the game.
Spent the first quarter on the bench, was pretty lively in the second. Kick from Dyson into the goal square, bit of a jostle. Hamilton does well again. Didn't play that many games, as we mentioned just a few minutes back this year, but he's been rock-like in defence today. Willie Dick got a bit of a kick on the shin late in the second quarter, came off the ground, but he's done well. Obviously no serious damage done. Ed Considine, hand in the face, don't argue. Danaher this time caught behind his man.
Well,
the mark.
Grinter saying a few words to the umpire. He can't believe if you fend off a player by pushing him in the face, it has to be a free kick.
That's fair enough, I suppose. Cuthbertson playing mainly in defence today. Johnny Howard. Gee, he ran a fair way.
The ball, doesn't it?
Travel.
He's saying he hand passed it, but he hand passed it to himself.
Well, he's still got control of the footy, hasn't
Exactly.
he? So he's got to be penalised.
So John Howard has kicked today, number 12. Kick for Essendon down there. Coming from Finlandia. He's done particularly well today. Been fairly busy. 2.5 minutes to go. And all interest really got out of this game now. Pretty well after midway through the third quarter. Essendon, or Melbourne, mounted a quick challenge, but that was about it. Luke Beveridge again. Long hand pass. Up in the direction of David Taylor. And Taylor has put it through. Young lad from Parkmore. His first goal. And Melbourne's 13th. Well, the scoreboard doesn't look too bad, Bernie, but probably a little bit flattering.
No, this has been their best quarter by far, Melbourne. 6-goal term to the Demons. And Essendon finish off this final quarter. They've kicked 4 goals. There's Beveridge showing a little bit of pace there, getting the long hand pass out to Taylor, who came on the ground in this last term. But as you said, to three-quarter time, they were 49 points in arrears, Melbourne. So really, Essendon probably just have relaxed slightly in this last quarter.
So the bounce back in the centre. Doyle, who's been a very good ruckman for Melbourne all day, gets the punch away. O'Connor there for Essendon. His hand pass, chopped off by Kilmartin. Goes hard after the football. O'Connor makes it difficult for him. Now Simons. Still has the football underneath Michael Simons. Now the ball gets clear. Ridley. Little kick. Very good vision. Masidi. He kicks it nicely in towards centre half forward. No mark taken, but Melbourne have the numbers when the ball hits the ground. It's Grinter running across the half-back line. Now goes back onto the favoured right foot and kicks it into the centre where the mark is taken by Taylor. Taylor gets back quickly. No one really leading, so he looks for a short pass. Now 50-metre penalty being applied. Why? Says the Essendon player near the centre of the ground. It looks like Bauer, is it?
Yes, Bauer was the man on the mark, so he must have just snuck over the mark there, Robbo. That's about the only thing it could have been awarded for. Simons off the ground, and coming back on for Essendon is Mark McCurry.
So Taylor has a chance from about 35 metres out directly in front to kick Melbourne's 14th goal and his second goal, and it's a pretty good kick too by young David Taylor.
Well, Taylor's got 2 goals and Matthew Mackay has got 2. They're 2 guys that sat on the bench for most of the game.
Yes, well, they've really livened things up a bit, haven't they, on the forward line? Especially very impressed with Matthew Mackay. As you said, Pete, the highlight of the game for you, that mark he took drifting across the front of the pack there. And they're both players that can kick the ball very well. Marking type players. And also Neitz, David Neitz, who has kicked 3 goals, is a promising type player also.
Yeah, he's got some good skills, David Neitz. And lad from Parkmore, another one. As I said, captained the Victorian schoolboys last year. 127 to 94. Minute of the grand final to go in the VSFL. Melbourne trying to add some respectability to their total. Cuthbertson's hand pass was ineffective, chopped off by Denham. Still they tried to get it out of the centre. Dyson not going anywhere.
Free kick for Philandia, I think.
Yeah, Philandia to take it. He was held after he got rid of the ball. So Peter Philandia, he's been a pretty good player today, Robbo. He's been in everything.
Yes, he certainly has. He's been pretty busy. Not, well, we said before, he looks like Tony Liberatore, doesn't he?
Yes, not unlike.
So the Demons, can they get another goal before the bell? They've got a few seconds to do so. Howitt, Considine, can't get clear. Cuthbertson goes in pretty solidly. So too does Phoebe. And on all fours, Bomber defenders trying to tie it up. 45 is Mercury, and finally they do succeed in doing just that as the clock ticks down to the final siren. It will be an Essendon premiership. They finished the ladder 3 games clear, and with the star-studded senior players in their lineup, they have indeed won the flag. The final siren sees Essendon premiers in the VSFL, defeating Melbourne 18-19, 127 to the Demons 14-10, 94.
And there's the old champ, Terry Danaher, probably playing his last game in the Essendon colours. But as you said, Robbo, he'll probably front up again at some stage playing with a VFA club. He's very similar to Barry Round. He just loves playing football. 35 years of age, and a fitting way, I suppose, for Terry Danaher. He probably would love to have played in the senior premiership, of course, to go out on. But at 35 years of age, a reserves premiership is not a bad consolation.
All right, let's go downstairs now. And here's a couple of great bombers.
Terry, it's a great win.
Yes, it was. Tim, it was a terrific effort. I think we're just probably a little bit disappointed. I think when we look back on that last 15 minutes or so, I think Melbourne ran over us a little bit. You know, there's no excuses for that.
Does this make the season all worthwhile for you now?
Oh, certainly. You know, looking back, I suppose now that I've enjoyed playing with the young blokes down there, and I've been down in the seconds, and they're a great bunch of fellas, you know, and there's a big future there for some of those boys, you know.
A little bit sad for you knowing that this is the last time that you will wear the Essendon Guernsey?
Well,
you haven't decided. I'm not trying to retire you, but
haven't decided yet, Tim. But I don't know, mate. It's a great way to go out, you know. But they've worked hard all year, the young fellas, and they finished on top, so they deserved it.
So you really haven't decided whether or not you retire at this stage, or what you're going to be doing next year?
I'm hoping to get you out for a night, mate. We'll sit down around the round table and make a few decisions. What do you think?
I need to do some training to go out for a night with you.
No, you'll be right, mate.
Well, congratulations, Terry, on your game today and for such a great career over so many years.
Yeah, thanks.
She'll be right, mate. A comment we've heard many times from Essendon's number 5 gentleman, haven't we?
Yes, he sounds similar to Barry Round in more ways than one. If Tim Watson has to have a few weeks training before he goes out with him, but a great career by Terry Danaher.
Oh, he's been a fantastic. He's been an ornament to the game, Terry. 21 finals, 4 grand finals, club captain, best and fairest, leading goal kicker. You can't do much more, can you?
No, he's been a magnificent contributor.
What about Dennis Pagan as a performer, as a coach? Bernie, do you think that taking a reserve side to a premiership is further his...
Well, really, Robbo, I don't think being a reserves coach has all that much bearing on a senior position, because all the reserves coach does during the year is actually coach on the Saturday. He doesn't have much input into the training. Really, he's playing players in position that he is really told to play the players in from the senior coaching staff, because they're looking at players coming through the ranks and they're trying them in different positions. He may make a few positional changes during the game.
But if you guys have come from... Like Robert Shaw cut his teeth as a reserves coach.
Yep.
Rod Austin was a Footscray reserves coach.
Yep.
Colin Kinnear was a Carlton reserves coach.
Yes,
and they've all proved to be quite capable senior coaches.
Yes,
Gary Buckenara.
I'll grant you that. He was an assistant coach, actually, Peter, at Fitzroy, because Ross Thornton was the reserves coach.
Well, they still come through the ranks, though, Bernie, don't they?
They do. They come through the ranks. But I'm just saying it's just not something that you can really run a line through as far as a senior coaching position, because really their input during the season is very limited.
Actually, one thing about Dennis Pagan that I think he's done this year, I think he's proven to people that he's able to control. His past coaching performances have been with juniors, right, underage boys.
Yep.
At least now he's gone up a step to coach the adults of reserves football. A lot of senior guys you mentioned during the telecast that there were a couple of the older fellas coming down from the seniors, and he's still able to control them and knit them together quite nicely. And I believe that maybe down at ground level, Dennis Pagan is about to talk to Tim Watson.
Well, Dennis, you make it a habit of winning grand finals this time of year. Can't be good luck. How many is it now with the under-19s and the reserves?
That's probably that's the 10th grand final in a row and the 6th premiership, and it's a good feeling, I can tell you.
It must be great for a coach to be coaching a side with a guy like Terry Danaher and showing the way like he did today.
Well, Terry was terrific, so was Bluey and David Greenwald. You know, I think Essendon have got the best batch of young kids in the competition, and to have them out in the ground with leadership like it makes it easier for the coach, I can tell you.
Well, there's been a lot of speculation about the Melbourne coaching job. Obviously, you'll be sitting down after this weekend and looking at what you'll be doing next year. Is that one option that you've got open to?
Look, I've always had an ambition to coach at senior level. Essendon have been sensational to me. They're a terrific club. But you know, you want to give yourself a chance to coach at the top level, and if something comes along, and I've told them that, they've been very supportive. I'd love to coach the senior side.
So Melbourne have contacted you?
I've sat down, had a chat with them, and that sort of thing, but nothing further at this stage.
Okay, Dennis, congratulations on another coaching feat.
Good on you, Timmy. It's been marvellous.
Oh, interesting comments there from Dennis Pagan. The record isn't bad, Bernie, when he summed it up. 10 grand finals in a row and 6 premierships. I tell you what, you'd have to give him a go, wouldn't you?
There's only one other bloke that could compete with that. That'd be Alan Joyce, wouldn't it? I think he's had 5 cracks at it and won 4 flags or something.
Yes, you can't knock that record, can you? It's an outstanding record from Dennis Pagan.
No, well, as he said, he had spoken to Melbourne, and their shortlist is probably one of the longest in AFL history for their coaching job. But anyway, let's look at the stats for the game now. Essendon running out convincing winners, 127-94.
Yes, they probably did even up a little bit in that last quarter, but still Essendon well in front in the kicks and the hand passes. The marks did even up, certainly. Melbourne coming home with a full head of steam, doing quite well in that last quarter. Free kicks even up. They were well in favour of Essendon at one stage. Tackles fairly even, but the centre breaks, that's where the advantage was won. Around midfield, Essendon controlled that area for at least the first 3 quarters, maybe not in that last quarter, but 21 centre breaks to 15 really told the story. They were able to get the ball down quickly into that forward line, where they had Terry Danaher kicking 6 goals, and also Bradley Plain kicking 6 goals. So they had the 2 outstanding forwards on the field.
All right, well, we're standing by, of course, for the presentation, so let's go downstairs.
Ladies and gentlemen, right now to present the Victorian State Football League Premiership Cup to the boys of Essendon, may I introduce the General Manager of the Victorian State Football League, Mr. Ken Gannon.
Thank you, Michael. Congratulations to both teams today for making the grand final of the Victorian State Football League and to set a standard to warm up the crowd for today's main game. I'd like to invite the captain of the Essendon Football Club, Alan Izzard, to come forward and receive the trophy. Premiership 1992 Victorian State Football League.
Hey, Pags. Where are you, Pags? Come on, Pags.
Oh, mate. It's all yours, son. You can have this.
Well, on behalf of the players, I'd like to thank Melbourne Football Club for putting up a tough effort. But on the day, I think we've sort of broke them in the second quarter. And I think the boys just sort of worked hard for the rest of the day to hang on for it. Well done, boys.
Thank you, Alan. Would you guys like to hear from the coach, or have you heard enough? Enough? No, they want to hear from him. Of course they do. The coach of Essendon, Dennis Pagan.
First of all, thanks to the Essendon boys. I thought they were terrific today. We had a real good batch of young kids with some real seasoned campaigners, and I thought it was a perfect recipe. They really led from the front. Commiserations to Melbourne. They put up a very good show all year, and just unfortunate it wasn't their day to day. Again, thanks a hell of a lot to the Essendon boys. They were terrific.
So Essendon premiers in the VSFL for 1992. We'll take a break from the MCG and be back in just a moment.